deceiver, shadows lie in the mix. White socks. We don't chase clout, we chase truth. Now let's go. Good morning. Happy Friday. Yep, Friday the 13th. It should be a good day. How is everyone doing this morning? I hope you are doing well. I hope you are looking forward to this weekend. Good morning to my mods. I'm not sure how long today is going to go. And let me give you just a heads up. I'm not sure I'm going live on Monday morning. Oh, I'm sure I'm going to get a Daniel visit. I never understand people who want to be left alone engage with the very person they want to be left alone from when said person has no interaction. I haven't covered him in a minute, but boy, he's asking for it. That's for sure. Well, as I always say, good morning, good morning. Welcome in. If you are a member of the team, hit the daily heart me. If not, please stick around. And if you like what you see, join the team. Gifts are appreciated but not expected. I would do this regardless. My one real request from everyone is that you tap until you feel the heart stale. And once you have, you can stop. If you'd like to do it again, I'd appreciate it. The number at the end doesn't matter. I just want to end up on the For You feed and prevent the people who can't stand what we're doing from being able to take the live down. If the live goes down and I am unable to appeal it and get it back in rapid succession, we'll be going live on Digital Deceivers Expose. Now, I think I need to go live there 3 times for a half hour so I get access to everything. So for both DDE and the Lighthouse, I'm just going to do some very light lives. They're not going to be major like I do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, just so that I can establish those accounts going forward. Correct. Pin it, Granny Annie, please. Thank you. By the way, for anybody who may not have been here the other day, there is a fake account. Let me show it to y'all. Goodness, I have so many photos. This is a fake account. If you have followed it or if it's following you, please go in, report it, and block it. What are the new rules, all for one? Yep, this is a fake account. This isn't me. Good morning.
Good morning, dear. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing well. Hey, real quick, I just want to give you a heads up. The new rules started taking an effect. They reset my TikTok last night. Everything got reset. I'm getting new feeds, totally different layouts. Their rules now, and I got hit twice. They want your camera on at some point. Now, you don't have to be in the picture. Just say your hands can be in the picture.
Okay.
Physically. The green screen, they're really clamping down on the rules on the green screen, so just be aware.
Okay.
It will come up as a restriction, but not Nanner the Live.
Right.
So
Okay.
I'm looking out for everyone.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yep, you stay safe. Have a great live.
You too. Thank you.
Uh huh.
Yeah, maybe Maybe we'll put White Sox on the screen. I know the green screen was a thing. I I also, when they created that talk only live setup where you can't see anything but you just see everybody in the little bubbles, I think they wanted us to utilize that instead of this. And you created the setup. So, who's my MOS? What's that? By the way, anybody just coming in, this is a fake account. So if you followed it, unfollow, report it as copying someone else and block it. Apparently, the other day, they were in J. Paul's live sharing the live. So I guarantee you this didn't get created to make me look better. If you suddenly start seeing a digital account doing bad behavior, trust me, it's not me, and report it. Right. They want to stop what we're doing. Oh, you were talking to Marine One. Okay, I apologize. I apologize. I was like, what's the MOS? Good morning, Candy Kisses. All right, so let's get to the grid. That's what y'all came here for, right? This is the grid today. We have Cece, because I feel like I caught her in some lies yesterday. Veronica, because I think I caught her in some lies. If TikTok president comes in, I wanted space to talk about Christina, Royal, or Roy, or Ghost Boy Roy, whatever name he goes by in your books. Yeah, Kevin, I figured that out after the fact. Of course, Aaron, because he made some posts that were very revealing, and I want to talk about him. Yeah, Black Mamba. And then Megan Medina has returned with some requests. Thought that was cute. And then let's just rip the band-aid off. Bree is back. She's back expecting people to take care of her. I can't tell if her fiance works or not, but I don't think Bree does. Good morning, good morning. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So let's start with Medina. Oh, thank you, Granny. And you know I love my flowers. So, no, he doesn't work? Okay. So, let's start with Medina. Megan is working. I did see that Big Mark is back. I did. Yes, Brittany, she did. Well, according to her, she got kicked out, but I think it had more to do with Claudia than anything, because of course, she tried to make it sound like Claudia was doing the absolute most for the family and they didn't appreciate it. So Claudia went back to her mother. Something about that feels off, because I tell you, if everything is everybody else's fault, red flag on the play. Like, what didn't y'all do? Did she think she was going to be able to lay around your grandmother's house all day and do nothing? No. But whatever, she went back to her mother's house, which apparently is 3 hours away from where she was living with her grandmother. And she wanted Claudia to be able to come back and visit and stay. And the grandmother was like, yeah, no. So what does Megan do? Instead of stacking her money and being like, you know what? We might not be able to do everything we want to do, but I'm going to stack this money so we can get a place of our own. No. She moves out and right into a hotel. So now her paycheck, instead of being able to stack it and actually change their living circumstances, she decides to go get a hotel room. Oh, thank you, Melanie. She decides to get a hotel room. And no sooner does she get that hotel room, what does she do? She comes right to TikTok and lets everybody know that she's working, and she has pretty good hours. She works for a store slash restaurant that is open 24/7. So most days she works 12 to 7, which I think are great hours, to be honest. And then one day a week she works from 3 a.m. to 11 a.m. To be a new hire and not have to work the graveyard shift out the gate is phenomenal. Thank you, Miss Nisi. So great. I'm proud of her. It's a huge step forward that she actually is working. And according to her, she's been working straight through with no days off. But apparently this Saturday she'll have off. So Claudia's supposed to come down and spend the weekend with her, which is why she got a hotel room, I believe. But again, instead of acquiescing to her grandmother's desires until she was truly ready to go, she went and got a hotel room. And she was able to pay for it from whatever day that was until Saturday, which means on Sunday, she has to pay again. And according to her, she doesn't get her paycheck until Tuesday. So what do you think she's about to do? You think she's going to say, Claudia, take some of your money and pay? Or is she coming back to TikTok to beg for the money? Which is why we got a preview and why we got all of the details about her job. Because she wants to prove that she's elevated herself. And that's true. But I don't understand. And again, the generations coming feel like everything they want, they should be able to get by snapping their fingers. Like it's Shazam, I get what I want. They do not connect with the idea of sacrifice, of being right, Kevin. Thank you, Sandy. They do not recognize that sometimes you have to do what you don't want to do to get to where you want to go. So now you just added a whole new expense. How do you expect to get ahead? So that was big thing number one. Where she works is a 20-minute walk from the hotel. And she actually started with this dry bag that she needs a bike. Again, did you not think to yourself, let me, before I jump up buck up to my grandmother, tell her how I think things should go. Let me plan. I don't understand all of this knee jerk reaction, not thinking through it, not determining the cost before you go. Good morning. Good morning. What? Kevin. Listen, the fact that there's a woman making thousands of dollars teaching these children how to talk on the telephone versus text message blows my mind. But they don't feel like they should sit down and think, does this make sense? How can I make this so that I don't fall into a hole? And you want to know partly why? For those who have begged in the past, they always know that's an option. And they all do it. They'll go away for a little while because they got their stuff together. And the moment something happens, they don't even try to fix it. They just come back to TikTok. Look at Tia Monet. Pregnant again, lost her job, then lost her car, which meant she lost the new stuff she was doing. And instead of going home to mom and dad, maybe asking another relative, she just came back to TikTok and expects TikTok to put her in a hotel room every single day. And of course, now that she's pregnant, please don't expect her to work. Mind you, who she's pregnant by, she doesn't even have a relationship with him. Again, why would you get pregnant by somebody you don't even know? And that's Megan. The moment she wants something that whatever her circumstances are don't allow for, forget about saving for it, planning for it. No. I need instant gratification. Well, I can tell you that life is going to kick your tail. Life is going to life for you. And if you don't start making mature decisions, then you're going to face the consequences. So we'll see how much she is back. I'll wait because I'll always be watching. But please stop making decisions that then rely on other people to fund your life. It's not a good look. Wow. I'm just going to call you Chainsaw. Good morning, Crystal Jean. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. Now hold on. Hold on. Look at the nails, guys. They're still holding on. Shein specials. And they are long. There we go. No, hey, Connie, thank you. All right, green screen again. Oh, this is a side note. I happen to be on Fei-Fei's page and saw this and thought it was hilarious. Let me change that. I thought it was hilarious based on who it came from. Because Fei-Fei is angry that wealthy people are getting money on TikTok and she can't get $25. That's her gripe. What she put in the chat, I don't know if it's true or not. If it is true, it's disgusting. But Fei-Fei, You wonder why people don't engage with you because you go out here and say and do whatever you want and then want to come back to your life and act innocent thinking that people don't see it. But this time she did it to herself. First of all, she went to his page and typed in one name, Gabe Arthur, the boy then you ran to Wyoming. Now again, it might be true, it might not be. I have no idea. I didn't do any investigation about it because for me, it wasn't what she said. It was the fact that she went into his live and said it, took a screenshot of her saying it, and then posted it on her page. Like, ma'am, and this doesn't come from a place of wanting to call him out because of the act. This comes from a place of jealousy that as a multimillionaire, he gets gifts hand over fist and she can't get $20. Barely in, even if he even paid attention. Even if he was paying attention. Do you know how fast his comments move? Right, but then she'll want to come to TikTok and cry and be like, look at what this millionaire is doing to me. Girl, if it's not true, but then they say we lie and we intimidate and we are meant to harm the people we cover. No, I don't watch him at all. In fact, he's blocked on my account. Right, Cat? Hey, Cat Daddy. But come on, Faye. She does things that puts her in a pigeonhole because her opinions are so strong, and yet then wants kindness shown to her. Girl, you pigeonhole yourself with all your opinions. You can't then turn around and say to the general public, can you help me? Because the people you isolate with your rude and nasty comments, who can't even listen, you can have a difference of opinion. You could see the country in completely opposite viewpoints. But if you can't have a rational, mature, fact-based conversation and you devolve into name calling and just being rude and nasty, even people who agree with you don't want nothing to do with you. So keep it up, Faye. Keep it up. It's not going to work out for you. I promise. Now let's rip the Band-Aid off. I've avoided talking about her since she's returned, but yesterday was it for me. Because again, the logic made absolutely no sense. Hold on, I gotta take a sip of coffee. 1 minute. It's so good. Anyway, as we know, she's returned, and she's returned to this account. I still have the other ones, but since she hasn't gone live on them since I can tell, This is the account she's using primarily. Now, everybody knows months ago I had what I would call a heart to heart mentor mentee mom child kind of conversation. And it certainly wasn't coddling by any stretch of the imagination. But it was someone telling her that enough is enough. You need to get yourself together. The excuses y'all keep using do not hold weight. You want to say your fiance can't get a job because she doesn't have her ID. And at your big age, that's not acceptable. You're not 18 or 19 or 16 or 17 and not sure how to do it. And in this day and age with Google, you can look up damn near anything. And now we got the chat GBTs that give you even more detail. You can literally say, give me a step-by-step guide. They hate us because they ain't us. Give me a minute. So the thing that affected me was when I saw she returned, I went to go in as DDS. Oh, yes, please, everybody tap. I've been changing the photos, and that's what I ask for a change. Every time I change a photo, please tap until you see the heart. If you keep tapping, you'll see what I call the heart's tail. Fill it and then take a break. And if you want to tap after that, it's appreciated. And I ask you to do that every time I change the photo. It's about 88 clicks. So if you're double tapping, it takes no time at all. So what got me was that when I went to go into her live, because I don't know what she's coming back to say. Her and her fiance could be working in their own apartment with a pet. Like, I don't know. So when I went to go see her and realized I was blocked on DDS, I was like, oh, well, maybe she just never unblocked me. So I went to DDE, my expose account, and that account was blocked. And I was like, okay, this is already a bad sign. So I went in under Princess DDS. And those are my only 3 DDS accounts, by the way. Princess DDS. When you come into this live, you'll see the little SpongeBob that's begging, and I think it says send it to me, please, or something like that. Send it. That is the little picture I use under Princess DDS. That's how you know it's me. It's consistent. Anyway, I go in under that account and I'm like, hey, it's digital. It's good to see you. The shock on her face that I had an account she didn't know about and I was able to go in and see her was obvious. And then she was just like, oh, you got a SpongeBob. And I said, I love SpongeBob. And I do. And I said, how are you doing? And she no longer communicated with me. And of course, when you do something like that, there's only one reason. And it's you don't want me to know what's going on. And that's never a positive thing. So they are literally in the exact same circumstance they were in before. Living in a hotel, needing people to fund their life. And it was disappointing to see because with each year, they get older and yet nothing changes. And I often wonder to myself, like, do you realize the disadvantage you have created for yourself? When you do finally figure out that you need to get a job to take care of yourself, because either TikTok is gone or the people on TikTok get sick of you, which always happens at some point. Do you realize the disadvantage of having very little to minimal work experience? Because they're going to ask for the reasons for the gaps. Why weren't you working for this period of time? And what's the answer going to be? Oh, I was a content creator? When that's not the truth at all. And nowadays, companies look at social media. They put your name in the search bar. And when you're going for a job and you've had 3 jobs in your entire life and you're going against even a high school dropout who's been working consistently, who do you think is getting the job? And when it's time for you to need to rely on Social Security and Medicare, and they say to you, well, you haven't worked the amount of credits to earn it based on your income, and now you can't afford to live, whose fault will that be? But again, this is generation of I can either do whatever I want or not do whatever I want, and my life should still keep pumping along. You're not even sure how you're going to pay for your room in a month, but you're singing karaoke. Make it make sense. But this is the thing that happened last night that tells me that they don't even know how to make sense. Right, Ethan's cult member, they will be old someday. So, right, hopefully, because I often say when they're like, you old woman, hopefully you can get to my age. And old where? But anyway, I think this might have been a troll, to be completely honest. But in their trolling, they exposed Bree's understanding of the world. So last night, somebody in her comment section said something like, I was trying to help. And she was like, help how? Because we know in her mind, help equals money. And if it's not money, then she doesn't consider it help. So they were saying, and I can't remember, it must have been that they were renting a room. I couldn't, like, part of me was like, did they say a room or an apartment? But the price made me think a room. They said that they had an offer for her for $250 a month. And I believe she only had to pay for one thing. And I couldn't remember what that was. But like the electricity, water, internet even was all included for $250 a month. She lived with friends, I think, then complained about how they were loud or whatever. Of course. And so she rejects it outright. First, she asked, where are you? And they said Ohio. And she was like, are you sure? But it exposed her true being because she was like, I don't have $250 to give you. Well, okay. And then she was like, and I don't even pay that much. What? She was like, I prefer to do $65 a day. I don't have $200 to give you. Girl, they didn't say $250 a day. They said $250 a month. And then she goes on this long diatribe about staying in a hotel works for her because she has like one bill to pay the room and she gets free internet, cable, she gets free toiletries, they clean the room. And she went on and she doesn't have to pay for water and electricity and heat. All of that is true. But you are paying for it. Thank you, Erica, thank you. You are paying for it because the price they charge you is based on the fact that they are covering those things. And then the person did the calculation for you and did $65 for 30 days was $2,000 a month. And people started describing how much their rent was. And you're complaining about $250 a month? Like, are we serious? We equate paying $65 a day as being better than $250 a month? If you can't understand how that doesn't make sense, then maybe you need a guardian ad litem. Because again, do I think it was a troll? Perhaps. Do I think there was really a room for rent for $250 a month? No. Everything included? No. But the logic that you paying $65 a day is better is crazy. What, Cat Daddy? We would live good in there. I'd be traveling all over the place. $250? Everything included? And I can't even remember what the one thing was. But you can tell that's somebody who's never had to actually pay bills and make quality life decisions. It's two of y'all. You could pay that in the matter of a week, technically begging on TikTok for $65 a day. You'd have it in what, 5 days? But see, it did include Wi-Fi. It did include Wi-Fi. That's what I'm saying. And then they were like, you have to buy like soap and toiletries and stuff like that. And for the most part, she has to do that now. The other thing that happened was she says, look at this pizza. Well, it was a pizza she ordered. And what she said was that she wasn't even really hungry, but somebody sent her money and told her to get something to eat, so she ordered a pizza. If you weren't that hungry, why didn't you save that for food for today? Why didn't you ask, listen, I know you sent this for food, but we need the room paid for. Can I use it for that? They act like, no, if Cat Daddy is going to be a roommate, it's going to be mine. I'm just kidding. Just because, like, they act like they're being so honorable when they're like, they sent it for me to get cigarettes, and that's what I used it for because I don't want to be called the scammer. Be for real. Because the only thing that's going to happen is that you're going to go right back to begging for the other things that you need. At what point do you grow up? Now, I know a lot of people love reborn dolls. I'm personally not mad at it. My niece is like, if you get one, I'm coming to smack you. But I don't have a problem with reborn dolls. But I believe reborn dolls were initially created for mothers of miscarriage or lost children. And I get that. But it's okay for the general public. But you spend more time and energy dealing with your reborn dolls in your fantasy world than in the real world. And then, to top it off, the thing that pisses me off is they got a dog. Harley, please send me who Paige is, because I don't know if I know who that is. Because that's crazy. Correct, Kara Ann. So you can't afford your life and thought the best idea was to get a dog? Ethan, I understand what you're trying to say. Yes, Janae. And just so people don't have to ask, her name and her @ is in the center of the screen. Correct, Riveter. Oh, Paige is the traveling couple? Okay. Oh, okay. I know who you're talking about. Okay, Janae, stick around. I have a lot more people to show you. Oh, what I saw about MP Creations and the fact that he's doing his own certifications and that there's typos in the certifications and people are actually spending money with them. Like, are people not curious at all? I'm struggling with Mara Hazel right now because she went to, what's his name? Messy Maj or whatever. And the stuff that they do, I can't play them stupid games. So I don't know. I I don't know. Right. Having a pet is not a cheap prospect. And when you need people to send you money for food, to send you money for toiletries, to send you money for a hotel room, so that now you, your fiance, and your dog have some place to stay. Why would you add that expense that you cannot afford? And I'm sure someone is going to try to say at some point it's their emotional support animal. But even the designation of emotional support animal doesn't mean that there's anything free. You still have vet bills. You still have food. You still have grooming. You still have toys. And if an animal isn't able to live a full life because you can't afford it, then you don't need one. I thought the reborn dolls that you already have were your emotional support. I saw one on the bed yesterday, day before yesterday. So, Bree blocking me, or I should say pre-blocking me before you came back to bed, let me dissuade all of you that that's not going to matter. $70 a month for a Shih Tzu. Yeah, all that hair. I was looking at a Maine Coon. There's a woman on here who sells Maine Coons. And I watched her groom a baby, and she's like, oh, when they get to be 26 pounds, I was like, next. Next. They do get huge. They're so cute, though. Anyway, who's next? I know who's next. Now, Royal loves to crash out. Royal will crash out if there isn't even a troll. But when Royal really needs money, he will let the trolls go on and on. Now, let me be clear. There are people who are telling the truth, and there are people who are trolling. Two different things. Let's be very clear about that. They like to wrap them all in the same box with a neat bow, but they are two different boxes. Saying to him that he begs every day and needs to get a job is not trolling. That's telling the truth. And sometimes the truth isn't pleasant. Sometimes it hurts. That doesn't make it not the truth. And it doesn't mean you're trolling. A troll is to talk about what they look like, the fact that they aren't smart or they're not attractive or misgendering him on purpose. Like, that's trolling. Two different things, okay? Let's be clear about that. But when he really wants money, he will allow the trolls to go on and on and on because it engenders sympathy. And I wish the trolls would stop. Like, they literally get to 5 minutes before they need the money, and a troll comes in, and y'all know who I'm talking about in particular, and just starts saying the wildest stuff and making account names that are rude and nasty, and then they get the money. And it's like, are you working for them? Because I don't understand the logic in that. So you make some people laugh, get a little hee hee ha ha, but the scammer got their bread. Because people don't like bullies. And when you're trolling that hard, that's exactly what it looks like. I don't stand with that. Because I'm not a bully. I'm a truth teller, but I'm not a bully. And to also be clear, my goal is to get them to stop asking. But because I know that that is a goal that's so far out there, I may never touch it. My passion is to prevent people from being taken advantage of. Two different things. If you know everything and still choose to give your money, I stand out of the way. Do your thing, baby. And what I always ask for is, if you've decided that you're going to help that person, don't even make them come live and crash out. Just send them the money. Make it a part of your bill so that every month, as soon as you get paid, or every week, every 2 weeks, you just automatically send the money. And then the rest of us don't have to deal with it. But the whole idea that you make them come online, do all of this performative nonsense, and then you send your money, you are also a manipulator. So yesterday, He was complaining about the Wi-Fi at the hotel. Again, when everything going on is somebody else's fault, red flag. He wanted to say that because they knew he was online live streaming, that as soon as he would live stream, they messed up the internet. No thought process to his phone. Maybe being full, maybe needing an update, maybe just having a problem with falling. And somebody made a really good point. They were like, when you drop your phone, just because the screen or the back end isn't broken doesn't mean that there isn't a mechanism within the phone that cracked or broke off. You just can't see it. After doing all this complaining, however, when he got the $30 or $35 that he needed, he went and booked the room again. So you mean to tell me you think people are actively trying to keep you off the internet, but you booked another room there? I'm sorry. If I think that someone is truly attacking me or trying to prevent me from conducting what I consider business, am I going to stay? It doesn't make sense. But scammers often need an enemy because they need to set up a scenario where they are defenseless and that without your help, they won't survive. So if it's not a stalker, if it's not a troll, if it's not a family member, if it's not a former friend, if it's not somebody on TikTok, they will make up an enemy to garner sympathy. And again, that's manipulation. So he pays for the room, comes back and says, I'm going to go, I have errands to make. Okay, do your thing. And then no sooner is he out doing his errands, he's back. He looked like he was sitting on the floor. And I'm going to be honest, a few weeks ago, it looked like he was sitting in front of the exact same wall where he was crying that he needed money to get an Uber and money to extend the hotel room. And he was like, I've been here for hours and I've gotten nothing. That's because you claimed you were on an interview. You got the money to get there, but then had no way back. And then when he finally did get the money, tears dried up like nobody's business. And not only did they give him money to get back to the room, they gave him enough money to get food. And now he's walking around the grocery store showing every little thing that he got and how he gets 2 waters for $1 and blah, 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 blah. So he's sitting in front of this wall, sitting on the ground, getting ready to crash out again because he needed money for food. Royal, I know you get food stamps. So where are your food stamps? Always they dox themselves all the time, but then say we're the ones doxing them. Well, don't be cooch. He had 2 jobs at one moment. 2 jobs. Still begging for money, but he had 2 jobs. And you know why he lost them? Because he kept calling out. He kept going late. And again, instead of following the rules, he wanted them bent for him because he's an unhoused person. And buses don't always run on time. That is not your employer's issue. That's a you issue. If you know that the bus is sometimes late, you get on the bus before. And even if you have to sit in the restaurant for 15 or 20 minutes before your shift, even if it's an hour, you show up early so that you don't get fired. But of course, even that was somebody else's fault because they didn't take into consideration the circumstances. Find me a job that does. Again, it's supposed to fit me. I'm not supposed to fit within the rules. And when you have that attitude, you are always going to be outside looking in, wishing for and wanting something. Block the person that sent for the room yesterday. Wow. I'm not surprised because he has a very big attitude towards just because you helped me means nothing if you're not helping me now. Means nothing. You don't get to question me. Now he'll say, "Oh, since you were kind enough to send it to me, I'll send you the proof." But then you block them. And this is a fair warning to people. Because let me see if I can find the photo. I don't know which phone it's on. Hold on. You guys might have seen this. I'm sorry for the background. But sometimes I've said I wonder how she gets down to the last minute and then suddenly has money. She's been sending requests to people for money on the back end. So you may think, oh, I'm just sending $10. What's $10 or 20, even 100? You could send them 50 cents. And when they're desperate for money, they will request it directly from you. Once they have access to your payment apps, if you don't block them, they'll come back to request. Believe me, without a single care in the world. If they don't unblock you to DM you. Because for them, it's about the mighty dollar. It's not about friendship. It's not about appreciation. It's about the almighty dollar and their love for it. For nothing. Let's be clear. You showing your face on TikTok and complaining and begging is not a job. It's not a privilege for us. Because if that's what you think, get off the app, delete it, and go do something else. Seeing you is not a privilege that I should have to pay for. But these young people, and some of them are old, get so entitled because there was a moment in time where all they had to do was say peep and they got money. And so now they expect it. And they feign appreciation. They fake their thankfulness just so they can get to the thing they want. And now he's crashing out over food. And we know he will use money he gets for food, for alcohol. And then those lives are a shit show. Good morning. Good morning to everybody that's come in. So keep thinking that it's an innocent $10, $20. And when you start getting request after request, DM after DM. In fact, lovely lady Julie Newton, requested money in my DMs from a burner account. All I could do was laugh. Really, Julie? So, and I've never sent her a dime. Y'all know that. Because if I had, she probably would have requested it within the app. No, she sent me a DM asking for money. Oh, yep, I have. I'll do it again in a minute. It's ridiculous. Hey, I see you. I see you. While you're here, let's talk about her. But hold on. Let me do the whole turn the camera off. Goodness, I don't want to just keep showing y'all. Well, let me just do it for now. These are my hands. See how wide my thumb is? It's like a 19-20 millimeter across. When I see those little tiny, look at my pinky. Like my pinky is some people's middle finger. It's hilarious. Anyway, back to regular scheduled programming. I'm gonna have to find something else to do because my hands can't be it every time. All right. I'm putting her up here because it's my understanding. Thank you. No, nope, nope. These are Shein nails for $2 or less. He's sleeping in his daddy's house coat. And I don't want to wake him up. I did not win the wheel. Not Builder Joe nothing. Shein press-ons. That, and I've had them on for 2 weeks. So y'all keep sending your money to that fraudster. Anyway, TikTok. So TikTok president, I missed it, but I heard that even after she deactivated her account, she came back on another account and had left Josh's house. Do you have an update, TikTok president? Oh, I could show my notebook. You're right. Thank you for that, puppy. You haven't heard of any account? Okay. All right. I wasn't sure. Oh, it wasn't her. Oh, okay. All right. That's what I heard. So we don't have an update on her at all? Listen. She's been gone and quiet. Okay. I just left her up there in case there was an update that I missed. No problem. I got plenty else to talk about. Just so that people, because I know everybody comes in at different times, this is the grid. CC Veronica, well, Christina wasn't what I thought it was. Black Mamba Arroyo, Aaron, Megan Medina, and Bree. We have already covered Bree, Megan Medina, and Royal, and Christina. So we have 3 left. Where I have DDS thoughts is I'm going to be analyzing some things that Aaron posted recently. So that'll be my thoughts on that and how revealing they were, especially the text messages, or I should say the DMs back and forth between him and Awareness T. And then hopefully there'll be time for open mic. Okay. Let's do cake. So Cake came live the other night, I want to say at like 11 o'clock at night, maybe 10 o'clock. Oh, thank you, TikTok president. And she needed $65 for the room. But she comes on, literally tears streaming down her face. This is her story. She literally slept outside for 2 nights in a row. She didn't have her phone. So she was stuck. But those were the 2 best nights of her life because she took a break from social media and because TikTok broke her. And all the people who talk about her. So it was the best 2 nights of her life. Sleeping outside in the cold. And she said things like she broke her phone. Hold on, guys. I can't stand when I keep something somewhere and then when I go to look for it, it's moved. Can't stand that. But it's nobody else's fault but mine that I can't find it. That's what pisses me off the most. I moved it and I can't find it. Anyway, okay. So these are some of the things she said. So I want you to hear me now. She was outside for 2 nights. She didn't have access to her, so because she couldn't pay it. She didn't have access to her phone. So she couldn't even come live and ask for the money. But she took the break because she was sick of people talking about her. That TikTok broke her. But over the 2 days, she realizes that she's not going to let TikTok break her. So she came back. And as soon as she came back, she asked for $65. Well, she asked for money. Let me put it that way. She said her phone was broke. But everybody that's been watching, so she didn't have, first she said she didn't have her phone, and then later said it was broke. And then later said she only has one device. Anybody who watches Cake knows that Cake has a tablet and a phone. She talks about the tablet and the phone all the time. She'll use the tablet and show the phone. Remember the other day when she said she wanted that seafood boil, but she didn't want to say it. So what did she do? She was live on the tablet and she showed everybody a picture of what she wanted. And it said Wednesday special and it was a $50 food boil. And now you're going to say today you only have one device? But my question is, if you didn't have any money to get a hotel room, how you get your phone fixed? She would have been better off saying the phone died because I was outside. But see, when you're accustomed to lying on the fly, you end up lying yourself right into my hands. How you get the phone fixed? And where's this tablet? And then the biggest question of all is this. Well, wait, let me say that. She was outside of the building that she stays in. Why are you there? And she moved away because people kept coming outside and talking to her. And she wanted people to believe that she was just out in the wilderness, abandoned. And people kept saying, what's your CA? Oh, I'm praying for you. Don't cry. I'm so sorry. You make me want to cry. And she kept posting her CA and posting her CA and posting her CA. And somebody eventually was like, how much have you gotten? And you know what she said? She was like, I have to end my live to go check. So I want to do something real quick. I'm going to go look at my CA account, and I want to see if the end lives because I went to look at it. This is a test in real time. Hold on. The live didn't end. The live didn't end. And I swear to you on everything, I went and checked. Literally opened my Cash App. Exactly, Big Sexy. You know why she didn't want to go check? Because she wanted the money to keep rolling in. She wanted the money to keep rolling in. If she went to go check, then when she hit the 65 number, people would stop giving. Layla, I appreciate that you want to support her, but why don't you listen before you tell me to leave her alone? Because she was lying the other night. And this is the biggest question of all. If she slept outside for 2 nights, where was all of her stuff? Her GoFundMe, she upped it by $1,000. So the last time I checked, it was now $9,000. So she got $8,000. Well, she probably got somewhere around $7,300. And when she hit the 8,000 mark, she upped it to 9,000. But don't ask her about it, because for her it's no big deal. So now that it says 9,000, she's up to $1,000, and she lies and says that GoFundMe takes most of the money. It's not how it works. Layla, she's lying about her leg. She has lymphedema. Have you ever seen her entire body, Layla? Did somebody mute her? Please don't mute her. See, I don't just come up here and lie on people. I'm not bullying people. I'm not telling mistruths about people. I only spit the facts. And okay, thank you. And I only talk about what I see them do and say. So if she had been outside for 2 days, where was all of her stuff? Because after she got an undisclosed amount of money, she went back live from her room. How did she set up her room with all of her stuff that quickly? Huh? If she was outside for 2 days. Oh, you want show the crack photo? Hold on. This was captured on her live stream while she was live. She put the phone down. She got in the car first, and she put the phone down. And what she failed to recognize was that the phone was reflecting off of the car's window. So we could hear the lighter, like, because the way you smoke C-rag is it's in a pipe, and you light it and inhale, hold it, and then blow it out. So you have to keep lighting it every time you take a drag. That's how you know it's not a cigarette. Because you don't have to do that with a cigarette. You don't even have to do it that rapidly with a cigar. And so it kept getting lit, and we would hear the drag, and then it got lit again. And she was doing it with another person. So think about how often that lighter got lit. Right? You don't have to do that with a joint that fast. J Mouse, I actually have access to the entire video, but I can't show that here. And somebody in the live was like, she's smoking crack? And again, what disappointed me the most was the chat was like, and if she is, she's an adult. Excuse me? Excuse me? If she's grown, and if she smokes crack, that's her business? Wait, is Layla still here? Layla, let me show you. This is cake. And see, this is the thing. People want to come in here and try to say that I'm saying or doing something wrong, but you're not even the least bit curious to determine if she's telling the truth or not. This is her leg. This is her entire body. This is on her page on TikTok. I haven't gone to Facebook to look for her. I haven't done a background check on her. This is on her page. She also has on her page, oh, I got the picture of her drinking the Mad Dog 2020. This is on her page. She also has on her page a video that somebody took of her panhandling on the street. If she had just broken her foot, the rest of her leg would not be swollen. It would remain in her foot. And I actually did the research because I wanted to know, could a broken foot create lymphedema? I have found no evidence that there is a connection at all. So, how many times has she said in her chat it's not lymphedema? Yeah, you guys post them for me so that I can address them. Correct, Lumpy Pillows. It's not. Somebody post a comment so that I can respond to it. She has a mother and a sister, but says she can't live with them. And that she doesn't want to because she's grown. Now, again, she's grown to do all of these things, but not grown enough to pay for herself. And see, I don't watch somebody for a little bit and then make all these accusations. At one point, she said she didn't have Social Security, but if she did, what's the big deal? It's only $900. What's she gonna do with $900? $900 a month? That could pay for your room for a few weeks. If you were on Social Security disability, then you could get Medicare and Medicaid, and you might even be able to find housing for the disabled. It's not just about the $900. But if she went through the process, she could have money. Now, there are people who allege that she already has it. And they said that the other day, and she was like, are y'all stupid? If I had it, you think I'd be on here begging? So which one is it, Kate? Would it not make a difference in your life? Or if you had it, you wouldn't be begging? Tell the truth. But see, one of the things that Social Security requires is that you consistently get medical attention. And Kate does not. Kate doesn't want her foot fixed because she doesn't want to have surgery. Well, whose fault is that? And whose responsibility is it to pay for her broken foot when she doesn't want to fix it? How long are y'all going to take care of her? For the rest of her life? I understand being afraid of anesthesia. I get it 110%. But let's look at her life prospects. And I'm just saying, if this was just a broken foot, if she continues to refuse to have it repaired, what is her life expectancy? And I don't mean in terms of her being here or not. I'm talking about the quality of her life. How long are people on social media going to give her money? Echo, what is the cost? Never mind. Echo, what is $65 a day for 6 years?
6 years is 2,191 days. So $65 per day totals $142,415. That's the amount you spend.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Happy to help with the math.
So y'all are gonna give her $100,000 in the next 6 years to keep her in that place? Again, in the short term, it may seem like it's no big deal. Joanne, he better be, or Joan, he better be. Darling, we all have. Now, she said she had a bad experience. So again, I understand being afraid. Most people are afraid when they're going to be put under anesthesia, especially because of all the paper you have to fill out that acknowledges that you might not wake up. Like, I get it. But is this literally going to be her life the rest of her life? And let's talk about the fact that this is lymphedema. Lymphedema isn't curable, but it can be managed. Her leg does not have to look like this. Good morning, but do you know what it requires? I mean, if she needs it. This is the problem though, Layla. Or Laya, I can't tell. Why is it fair that other people pay for her way daily and she fails to take the necessary medical intervention that could help her? Because, see, this is the thing. This isn't a permanent deformity. She could actually get better. So, how is it fair to other people who are kind to her that she continues to not get care? See, what she requires are wraps. And the wraps can go around her leg. And what it does is it forces the water to leave her body. It's lymphatic fluid. That's what it is. So if she went to a doctor and worked on her leg to get rid of the lymphatic fluid, her leg wouldn't be this way. So you want to say, if people want to spend it, why do I care? Well, why are people obligated to take care of her when she won't take care of herself?
Okay, hello.
Yes, good morning.
Okay, so good morning. First of all, I'm not going back and forth with the people in the comments because at the end of the day, y'all are sitting in the same place as I am in the comments. So stay there. Second of all I meant was like, I mean, if she needs the help and people can afford it, like, why does it matter to y'all? Because I see like these lives all the time. Like, yeah, maybe y'all are trying to put the word out, but at the end of the day, y'all sitting here on the live is not gonna help it, and that's only making her even like madder because I've seen her lives before. Like, that doesn't help her. So I mean, I don't know. I feel like if y'all actually try to talk to her about it,
We
then
tried.
yeah.
I've tried on multiple occasions. She will not talk to me. You know why? Because I'm able to catch her in lies and she doesn't want to have that conversation. And see, that's the problem. People want to have compassion for her, which I do not, but I'm not bothered by. Everybody in life deserves compassion. But where is the compassion for the people who have given her money based on a lie?
I mean, what's the lie, that her leg or that she can't work? What is it? Because I mean, she's told the truth with the fact that she can't work on that leg because she really can't stand on it for too long.
Okay, let me explain the lie. The
Mhm.
lie is that it's a broken foot. It's not.
Mhm.
It's lymphedema. And lymphedema is treatable. And if she went and got treatment, she could go back to work.
So
So
did somebody diagnose her? Did somebody diagnose her, or
sweetheart, you can look at her.
I mean, at the end of the day, there's a lot of things, a lot of symptoms that you can say goes with something, but you really
No,
don't
no, no,
know
no,
until you go
no,
get
no,
diagnosed.
no, no, no. Look at her. That is the
I'm not
classic.
gonna sit here at me being in like going to school to be in the medical field. I'm not gonna sit here and
That's fine.
try
That's
to
fine.
diagnose her
But
because
people,
you have to have some type of certification to be able to diagnose somebody.
okay, that's fine.
Brittany,
But
hold
if
on. Sorry, Brittany, you're in the comments talking, baby. Go focus on your face.
okay,
Thank you.
wait. We don't do that here. We don't do that here. We're having respectful conversations, and that's it. Don't pay attention to the comments. And comments, if you're being rude and nasty to her, that's unnecessary. We don't get anywhere by being rude and nasty. We get somewhere by having a conversation. So, okay, let's move past the leg. She
Mhm.
came on and said that she stayed outside for 2 days
Mhm.
because she didn't have the money and she didn't have her phone because her phone broke. If she didn't have the money to stay in the room, how she fix her phone. Wait a minute. That's A. B, she said we all know she has a tablet and a phone. So in the live where people were like, well, where's your tablet? She said, I only have one phone. I don't have nothing else. That's a lie. Then
Mhm.
if she was kicked out and stayed outside for 2 days, where was her stuff? She was just willy-nilly rolling around. So let's just take this for a second. If she lied and told people that she stayed outside for 2 days and she needed their money to get back in a room, you find that acceptable?
I mean, with me, that really don't have nothing to do about it. All I'm talking about is the health part. If she lies and these
No,
people
no,
are
no, no,
stupid enough to
no. No,
believe her, like,
like
you know what I'm
Leia,
saying?
you can't say, well, that has nothing to do with it.
Oh,
Because
no, seriously,
it,
it doesn't. This whole situation really doesn't. It's just I'm tired of like going back and forth between these lives and I'm hearing her complain
sweetheart, you know
about how
what you
people are
do?
talking about her
You know what
and
you
then
do? You block me, and then you never have to
no,
hear me
baby,
talk
this is
about
my
her
first time
again.
seeing you. This is my first time seeing
I
you. I've seen many
understand.
others. So this was the first one that I actually engaged because you know what? I feel like it's very tiring to like hear people go back and forth, which yes, I'm glad that I heard your side because mind you, like this is my first time joining in and no, I don't watch her like every day. So it's
Mhm.
like, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like I feel for her because of her leg and it's like she also doesn't have the money for it. So it's either her pick between her sleeping on the street or her take that $65 and go to the doctor, you know? So it's like
Were you
even at
here?
that it's going to build up.
Wait. Did you hear when I asked my nosy person in the corner how much it would take to take care of her for the next 6 years, just her hotel room?
I mean, yeah, I did, but
Okay,
that would probably
so
be that amount that she claims for that surgery or whatever it is
no, 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 no,
for that.
no. No, 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 no. That amount is if people pay $65 a day for the next 6 years. Because if she doesn't get her foot taken care of, then in the fourth, less, and I just chose six as a random number. If
Mhm.
she refuses to deal with her leg, right, and therefore she can't get Social Security, because she's not doing the medical necessary things. That means that if that place stayed at $65 a day for the next 6 years, that would be people giving her over $100,000. We're not just talking $65 a day because anybody could spend that. But this is the other lie. She says she doesn't have Medicaid. That's a lie, so that she wouldn't have to pay the money for the surgery. Medicaid would cover it. But again, the lymphedema doesn't require a surgery. So when you lie about something as simple as what's wrong, if you lie about staying outside, if you lie about having Medicaid and so that you get people to pay for you to get there, pay for you to see the doctor, pay for you to get back when you didn't actually have to have those expenses, I'm sorry. It's not that I don't have compassion for her condition, but I have compassion for the people who are being lied to. Because in general, we have a pact amongst ourselves as individuals that we don't lie to each other. That should be
Mhm.
a standard. And so, and let's also be clear. I don't know how long you've been in here, but let me just
Mhm.
show you something real quick.
Mhm.
This is the grid. I don't just
Mhm.
talk about one person ad nauseum. I
Mhm.
talk about other people who are doing similar things that create red flags so that people don't get taken advantage of. Do you know people raised $300 for her and then got blocked?
Mind you, I had stated that I don't really watch her. I don't watch you. It's only me seeing that she's going through this pain and people are giving her money and then other people are going around and complaining about it, people giving her money, which yes, this is
I'm
my
not
first time
complaining
actually
about
hearing
it.
somebody actually have a point. Other people is just because they're mad and they're jealous that nobody's giving them money because they're broke.
I
But you
promise
kind of have a
you,
point.
I promise you, jealous of what? Jealous of having to stand outside 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night? Jealous of having to stand on a street corner? What is there to be jealous of?
Other
My
people
bills
are
are
jealous.
paid.
Other people are jealous that people are giving her money and that they're not giving that
Well,
same money. And that's why other people go
okay.
on live and do this. But I said for
Well,
you, it's different. So don't
okay,
take
good.
that to any offense because I said for you that it's different.
Yeah, there's no jealousy here.
Yeah,
None
no.
whatsoever.
Nobody in here is jealous of her, but there's definitely people in the comments that have something to say about me. Which then again, I don't give a rap. Like at all. I don't care.
Well, I appreciate you coming up. What this is what I would ask though, because I don't have
Mm-hmm.
control of how anybody else does anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would like for you to stay, if you can, for a little while longer.
Oh no, it's
Because
okay. I just wanted to come up here and say something because if I do say,
no,
I
no, no, no,
will be in the
no. I
comments
don't mean
arguing with
stay in the
people.
box. I meant stay in the live.
Oh yeah,
That
no.
way, because I want you to see that there's a pattern,
Mm-hmm.
that there are red flags. There is a pattern of behavior, not just one thing, or not just because you got to understand something. People are getting money on this app like crazy. I don't cover everybody that asks for money because I
Mm-hmm.
have discernment, and I don't just say, oh, they're asking for money, so they're a bad person. No, no, no. When I first saw her, of course, I had immediate compassion. But you will, when you have lived a certain amount of time in life, and I was in healthcare for many, many, many years, there are certain things you can
As what?
see. There are certain things that you can see that are obvious. There
Mm-hmm.
are certain symptoms that are obvious. And I have people in my lives who also have lymphedema, who were able
Mm-hmm.
to look at it and identify it as their exact same condition. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not, the longer you're in healthcare, the
Mm-hmm.
longer that you may not have the ability to write on a piece of paper, this is the diagnosis with your signature. But over time, you'll be able to see something and be like, yeah, that's such and such. I might not be able to clinically diagnose them and get paid for the diagnosis. I don't have MD behind my name or PhD or whatever other letters behind. But over time, you get to see stuff enough, you know what it is when you look at it. But that comes with life experience. So I'm
Okay.
gonna move on from her because
Okay. Thank
again,
you. Yeah, have a
thank you
good
for coming
day.
up. I appreciate you having a conversation because very few people are willing to have the conversation. They want to stay in the comments and tussle. Hold on. Be
Good
nice,
morning.
guys. Good morning.
I had to come up. I just, got off work a little while ago, working a 12-hour shift, and I seen cakes. I'm like, is this the cake live I be on? So I clicked on it. And when you put that picture up there, I was like, you got to be kidding me. I had no idea. And I'm going to tell you just like this. I'm a Christian woman.
As am I.
I'm trying to get closer to God. I felt sorry for her. I did not know that at all. I used to see her drinking her little drinks and stuff. I
Mhm.
had no idea. I've helped her on a number of occasions. I just recently helped her the day that she said she was outside for 2 days and the incident with her phone. And I sent her some money that night. I've sent her money a couple of times and I feel real stupid,
Don't feel stupid.
and when I sent it to her, I said, God, I said I did that. I said because I felt like you were prompting me to help her, because I knew it was cold outside and stuff, and I was like, I don't want her to be out there in the cold and stuff like that. And yeah, I hear she says that she's scared to go up under anesthesia. I'm like, goodness, when you gonna get that foot taken care of? Because I'm saying in my head, eventually they gonna cut it off. But I didn't actually say that to her. But
Right.
this is all new to me. And when I seen that picture blurred out, I was like, what is this and what's going on? I had no idea. at all.
And that's what happens. Again, if you know all there is to know about her and you still want to give her money, I step out of the way. Yes, between you and her. But my concern is that there are people who don't know the truth. And they're giving it based on what she says. Because so if I was there that night too. And again, when she says she slept outside, initially I had no reason to question it. Like maybe she did. But if you've watched her, how many times has she used her tablet?
Plenty of times.
But that night she couldn't. And then she lied and said, I only have the phone. I have watched her a million times on the tablet. And
Yes,
she'll
I
be
watched.
like, I gotta
Yes,
get off the tablet and get on my phone because the tablet's gonna die.
yes.
Where
And
was all of her stuff that night?
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, okay, you've been outside 2 days. I know she had her mishaps with her friend. That hurt her feelings and start talking about her and all the other stuff. When I first started engaging in her lives, and I seen her GoFundMe, and I'm like, when she was begging and asking and stuff, I'm like, I just happened to ask her. I said, sweetie, you didn't get your money for your GoFundMe? And she was like, they reported my page and they wouldn't let me get my money. See, I didn't know what exactly happened with that, so I just left well enough alone. I was like, I don't know what's going on with that. But then the girl she got into it with was telling people that she did get some of that money.
Your instincts were right, and I'm gonna need you to trust your instincts a little bit more, baby girl, because she tried to say, now this is the thing, she put up the GoFundMe. If you go to her page, like the first video was about the GoFundMe. She did an updated video about the GoFundMe, but if you come in her live and bring up the GoFundMe, she has a fit. What this got to do about a GoFundMe? So my very first interaction with her was about her GoFundMe, because I was like, oh my God, girl, you almost got the money. And at the time, I wasn't even clear. I thought you got the money when you reached the goal. That's not how GoFundMe works. Within 5 to 10 days, you get the money that's sent. That's for A. For B, she lied and said that GoFundMe takes most of the money. No, there's a flat fee every time somebody sends you something, and then there is a percentage. But when she got that $8,000, she got a minimum of $7,300. A minimum. She might have got more than that. But again, I don't know how many different gifters. So there's a flat fee for every gifter, no matter how much of the amount. But it's minimal. It's not like they take 50%.
Okay.
And
Well,
so she got that $8,000 and she gets it now within 5 days, because when you first set it up, like you have to wait so many days for them to make sure that the accounts are real, that the request is real, all of that, right? But then after that, within 3 to 5 days of somebody sending you the money, you get it in your account. And so just recently, she upped it to 9,000. If she didn't have access, why would she up it to $9,000? Oh,
wow.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. People like to know who I'm talking about. She just upped it to 9,000. Mind you, getting money every single day.
Well, it was meant for me to come across this live. That was God right there telling me, okay, here's your proof or whatever. That's why I just listened for a while. And I was like, I cannot believe what I'm hearing. But just like I said, I did what I did. I did it out the kindness of my heart.
Of course.
And I know that I won't be doing it anymore. And I'm glad I seen this. And just like I say, this ain't nothing but God put this right in my face. Like, here you go.
Because you know what? There is somebody in your community that could use the help. That's legitimate.
You're exactly right.
And so I don't want you to reject your kindness and your relationship with God. Just be a little more discerning. And I was getting ready to say that, before you send anybody money on this app, I want you to do two things, regardless of how bad you feel. I want you to put their name, their profile name in the search bar and hit search. and see if any videos come up that explain the fact that they're a scammer, beggar, liar, manipulator. And then I want you to hit TikTok Taco, which is the AI app in TikTok. When you do the search, you'll see top, and then to the left of the word top, you'll see ask. And just for people who weren't here on Wednesday for that, let me show you. Let me get it. Do you know Brianna Nicole? I think they call her Nana. This
Oh,
girl right here.
no, I don't know her.
Okay, well, she's another beggar, and she calls it the tip jar, and she wants her rent paid every month, right? But
Okay.
I just did TikTok Taco, and it went through and told me that her lease termination notice was January the 31st. She hasn't paid rent since October 2025. That she's still residing at the property. She was getting that money for that rent every month from people on TikTok and still not paying it. Went on vacation and everything. And she still got people giving her money.
Okay, see, I'm not familiar how to use TikTok like that. That's why I don't really have a lot of videos and stuff like that. I just, like it for
Scroll.
entertainment purposes and stuff like that. And whoever these people is in the chat, I've gave Black Mama, whatever, I've gave him money before too. But just like I said, I never knew that he was part of the scamming crew. It's not like
Right.
I've done it over and over and over and over and over again. But for whoever keeps on bringing it up, okay, it happened, it's done and over with. Now I know better. When you know better, you do better.
Right. I understand. And again, when people are doing it from the kindness of their heart, again, as Christians, we're told to care for our neighbors. I get it. But God's also said to use discernment.
Yes.
And that's where we are. He is Tayona. He's incredibly disrespectful. And he doesn't even like us like that. But as long as your money is green and you're willing to send it, he'll be nice to you for a minute. And then he'll say to you, what have you done for me lately? Because if you're not sending money today, get out of his live.
Oh yeah, I've seen him say that plenty of times without me even clicking on his live. And it just like I said, just must have been just that one day. And I felt sorry and I felt bad. Just like I say, I'm a Christian woman, I don't have a problem helping anyone out. But just like I said, the people that I've helped out that were scammers, it's gonna come back to me. I
Of
already know
course
that.
it will.
It's gonna come
And
back to me.
again, I'm glad you came and I'm glad you stayed long enough to hear it.
That's
Because
why I was listening.
often,
I was like, wait a minute. I was like, what is going on?
and we call cake smoke and C-Rack, right?
I didn't know that. You see, I just added you. I said it too. I said, oh no. I said, I got to stay on this page right here. But just like I said too, I work 12-hour shifts. I just turned 50 years old. I got a 24-year-old. So I don't do messing and arguing and back and forth and all that. I wouldn't even give them the time of day. I don't know these people on this app and you don't
Right.
know me. So, just like I say, I ignore a lot of stuff, but I'm just not going to invest my time into an app with people that I physically don't know in real life.
Right.
And then the stuff that I see on here, I'm like, you got to be kidding me, y'all doing all of this on the app. You don't even know this person.
Right.
But it is what it is. Lesson learned. I'm so glad I came across this live. Lord Jesus Christ, thank you.
Well, just so you know, and anybody else in here who might not know, I go live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings from 6:30 to 9:30. And just so you understand, I don't cover the same people. So that should tell you how many different people are on this app scamming people. And again, let me be clear. I do not cover everybody who asks for money on here because in some cases, I feel like it's legitimate. I only do it when I have watched them scam over and over and over again and come up with new stories and new angles. And this person did this to me. And how is, you remember what she said that night, Kate? She said, I was outside for 2 nights in the cold, but those were the 2 best days of my life because I wasn't on TikTok. Baby girl, if TikTok is affecting your mental health that bad, get off the app.
Yeah, I heard her. I heard all of that too. I was saying, and I said to her too. I said, maybe you need to take a break, from this app. I mean, it is what it
Well,
is. You were doing okay, she said, before she got on this app. So you're gonna be okay after you're not on this app. If you was doing okay before you got on here.
right. And then I just showed where you can pause your live and go look at Cash App. You know why she didn't want to do that? Because she didn't want to know how much it was so people would keep giving. It took her a whole nother half hour to actually go look.
Oh,
Do you
so
know
they
how much?
can look when they're on when they're on live.
Yep, hold on, I'm about to show you.
Cause I heard her mom say she can't see it while she's on her live, and I'm like, oh, okay. Just like I say, I don't really know too much about how they navigate through TikTok like that. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Let me show you, just to show and prove that I just went there right now while you were talking.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I just took that screenshot.
okay. Oh my. Oh my.
She didn't want to go look because she didn't want to end the gifting.
Okay. And you know what? One night I was on her live, and me and her were talking, and I think I sent her some money, and she was like, thank you, blessed. I'm like, no problem. And I was telling her, I was like, sweetie, go get your room. She was like, I'm gonna get the room in a minute. I think she got off live, she came back on. But another thing that threw me off, but I think I didn't pay too much attention to it. I see she wasn't doing a lot of swearing on her lives. And then one day I didn't click on the live. I was just watching it for a minute. I was like, ooh, I know she cussed. And I was like, okay. And I clicked on the live, and I was like, hey, girl. And she was like, I call her sweetie. Hey, sweetie. She's like, hey, blessed. And then I seen her drinking, and I was like, oh, that's how she get when she get a little jungle juice in her.
All the time. She actually told people to send her a galaxy and she would drink. How is that helping anybody in the comments?
I seen that too. Send me a galaxy. I said, what was that? She was drinking MD 2020.
Oh, girl, let me show you. Because I don't, like I said, I do a lot of research. I just don't get up here and start talking out the side of my neck without having the evidence. We say in this community, receipts are everything.
Lord.
Do you know how bad MD 2020 is? And you are suffering with lymphedema?
Oh, okay.
So please do yourself a favor, and I will give you a step-by-step guide on how to search somebody, because I realize a lot of people don't know how the app works.
Yeah, I
But
have no clue at all. I just be just as dumb. Like, I had to recover my account and didn't even know how to do that. And I was like, I don't even know how to get back on my account. But I do have to ask this question. I had never heard anything about the C-Rack. So that right there, I was like, where did that come from? I've never seen that. And they said she did it on there before.
Well, the night I saw her, she was outside. That's another thing. She stands outside while she's asking for the money, but all her stuff is still in the room. Think about that. But anyway, and has she ever shown anybody a receipt that she paid for it?
Nope.
Okay, so she was standing outside one night and somebody pulled up in a car and she was like, hey, and they started talking back and forth. And then she gets in the car and tells the live to hold on. And then the way she positioned her phone when she put it down, she didn't realize that we could see the reflection from the front window.
Oh.
And she's sitting next to somebody and they're going back and forth with the C pipe. And not that I've ever done it, but enough movie TVs in real life, you know what it looks like. And so you light it and inhale and then pass. And the other person lights it and inhales. And they went back and forth several times. And then
she told me she don't smoke. Because one day somebody asked her for a cigarette. She was like, no, babe, I don't smoke.
Well,
I was like,
she
okay.
don't smoke cigarettes. But so then somebody in the comments was like, is she smoking C-Rack right now on live?
Where was this?
It was on a live a few weeks ago.
Oh, I missed that live.
She had 2 people in her live that were in the box like you are now. And they were like, mind your business. No, she's not doing that. But people who know. And so when she heard them yelling about it, she came on the live. I don't even know what that looks like. Girl, we just watched you smoke it, whether you know what it looks like or not. And then the people in the box were like, and if she was smoking it, it's her business. She grown. Excuse me?
Oh Lord. Oh, I missed that one. I must have
And
missed that
then
on
she
purpose.
said, you're right. If I was doing it, it's my business.
Oh. Oh my. Okay.
So
And I see
when you,
she hasn't been on live in a couple of days, has she, since that other night? Because I haven't seen her on live because I work
no, I
nights.
don't think she went live yesterday at all.
Okay, because she was saying that she gonna take a break and stuff. So I was like, I ain't really seen her on live, but I usually see her at night
If
because I be working
she's
at night. That's why I be on her lives and stuff.
right, if she's able to take a break, how much money you think she brought in?
If she what?
If she's taking a break and not coming and asking for her $65 a day, how much money do you think she brought in the other night?
Oh, right. Oh my goodness.
Enough for a couple of days. See, the reason why she doesn't want to come on here isn't because she has an actual hard time. She doesn't want to come on. She wants to get enough money so she doesn't have to ask. Not that she's bothered by what we say about her, because again, I don't just talk bad about her. I only speak the facts that I'm able to tell by what she says and does. I don't have somebody secretly in the room spying for me. I just look at what you do and say, does that make sense? And if it doesn't make sense, it's probably not true. And if you're outside saying that you slept outside, and we already know that if you don't pay the rent there, they will put your stuff outside. Why do we know this? Because on a live, they had the police there and they were putting people's stuff out. And she was like, see, they don't play here. You don't pay, they put your stuff outside. So if she hadn't paid, her stuff would be outside. And it wasn't.
Well, I'm figuring. I'm like, okay, so I know she doesn't have much. Probably with a bag with some clothes, and they ain't got no
She has an
TVs.
air fryer. What you mean?
Oh, you know what? I did hear her say something about an air fryer. She's gonna make her some chicken.
Her mama gave her an air fryer for her birthday, I think, or Christmas or so. No, she got a dress for Christmas. Her mother brought her an air fryer. So at the very least, the bag, she'd be walking around with the air fryer.
Yeah, because I seen her on her birthday at her what was she at her mom's house or whatever. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
she's at
No,
her mom's
yeah.
house, and I
And
see
they
she get
was
upset
drinking
when
and
people
having a
ask
good
her
time.
why you can't stay with your mother, why you can't stay with your sister. I don't know if the sister stay with the mother, but she's sitting there talking about her mother on Section 8, and she don't want to get her mother put out for staying there, and her mother on a fixed income, and they don't have no money like that. And I was like, but you was able to go over there on your birthday though. And I seen she was drinking that what was that 211 or something. I said, ooh.
Whatever it was. But let me just say this also. The reason why she doesn't want to get her leg dealt with is because it's become her moneymaker. Even when she's standing on the street.
So that
That's
is
what she's
lymphedema she
doing.
has in her foot?
It's not her leg. It's lymphedema.
Oh, so the lymphedema in the leg makes her foot look like that.
Yeah, because what happens is your lymphatic system is what removes the excess water from your body, and then you go to the bathroom. Well, some people will have a lymph node that won't drain, and it's usually in your limbs. I did an entire presentation on what lymphedema is. She has stage 4 lymphedema in her leg.
And she
And
says every time she goes to the hospital, they just wrap it up and send her home.
because that's how you treat it. That's how you
Oh.
treat lymphedema.
Oh, you have to keep the leg wrapped up.
Yes, to force, because doesn't do it naturally. So you do wraps, and the wraps have to be there every day, all day. And she also says they give her water pills. Why? Because they're trying to get the fluid out of her body. There are people in here who have lymphedema, who work every single day. It can't be cured. There's even a machine that they could put on her leg that will pump it out for her. And then she would have to live with wraps on her leg. Oh, and by the way, remember when she collected money to get to the doctor, to pay for the doctor, and to get back?
I remember that.
She has Medicaid.
That girl got Medicaid?
Yes, she didn't need any of that. You think they gave her food stamps but no Medicaid?
She get food stamps.
Yes.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
And see the
How
other
does she
young
get this stuff if
lady,
she doesn't have an address?
you can be homeless and get, how do you think all the homeless get it? You can use a homeless shelter as the address. She can use the hotel as her address. Every state in the country has a way for a homeless person to be able to get services. You can use the address at the office.
I had no clue about that. Oh
Right.
my
When you've had
goodness.
no experience, because she is loud and brash, and she got a bunch of people in the comments co-signing. When she says something, you believe it,
Yeah, because her my Lala is her number one fan.
right? But
And I know
Lala
Lala's a
put
Christian woman, and she sit there and talk about her discernment is strong and this, that, and the third. She don't see none of that. I mean, because just like I said, I didn't see this, and that's why I came across your live. And God said it too. She about to see this one right here, and I listened for a while, and then I joined. I was like, oh my goodness, they talk about this lady I didn't help, and oh wow.
Right. And see, I understand that when people see a live and there's 30 people in the boxes and everybody's just talking crap, you miss the parts that indicate that she's lying. But that's why I do the lives the way I do, because I want people to be able to hear exactly what I'm saying. There's no over talking, there's no 55 opinions. And then I got to say, well, that's just an opinion, or please don't be mean. No. I simply talk about what they do on social media that tells me they're lying. And once you're lying to the people that are helping you, you end up on the grid. Period. But anyway, I gotta move on because
Okay, sweetie,
I
I do.
got
I appreciate you so much, and I appreciate you letting me come up. And you said you go live from 6 to 9 in the morning.
6:30 to 9:30 Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Okay, I got
And then I
Monday,
put it
Wednesday.
on YouTube. I put every live on YouTube.
Okay, thank you so very much, sweetie.
Well,
I appreciate it.
I appreciate you too, because sometimes having the conversation with somebody helps somebody else realize. So I appreciate it.
And I most definitely realized it, and I appreciate this so much. But just like I said, it wasn't by coincidence that I came across this live. God said, I'm about to put this right in her face right now.
I appreciate that.
Thank you so much, sweetie. I'm gonna still stay on the live for a little bit, though. I just, want to see what everybody else talking about.
Okay. I
Thank.
welcome you to do so. You are welcome here anytime.
Okay, thank you, sweetie.
Okay. Do you know how to get down?
No.
Okay. I'll help you.
Okay.
All right. Okay, wait. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. Let's talk CC. Now, for people who aren't familiar, CC met a man, moved him into her home, had him around her baby, her 5-year-old. She got pregnant, she says, with twins. She married said man, and then he beat her ass. I think he beat her up within a week of them getting married. Within the week. And let's not forget that when she came back to tell everybody she was pregnant and to brag about this man she was with, she told us we were jealous because she was getting love we weren't. And too bad that she has a man that hugs her in the middle of the day And we don't have that. Don't be jealous of her. Or take your jealousy elsewhere. And when people ask questions like, well, how old is he? And he was at least 10 years older than her, which there's no problem with that. I've been in that sort of an age gap relationship as well. And then when people asked her, what does he do? A lot of things. And then we find out he has another child with another woman, but he's not taking care of that child. And for some reason, she thought that because she was better than his first baby mama, that she would get better treatment. Well, that all fell apart. Now, I stand against domestic violence with every bone in my being. And nobody deserves that. And so let me show you the charges. Between the 24th and the 25th, he has racked up all of these charges. And as you can see, most of them are felonies. The child abuse in the 4th degree is the only misdemeanor. But that means that something happened. Now, it could be that they considered it child abuse, that he witnessed the felonies, and they consider that child abuse. But I told y'all after that first live, why is this brand new man in your life disciplining your 5-year-old as if you expect a 5-year-old never to make a mistake, to never get it wrong? And when I tell you her baby is the sweetest thing on the planet and all he wants is her attention. But when she gets in front of her phone, it's kick rocks to him. And there are times that she could be on the phone morning, noon, and night, and he'll get ignored all day. And then when people finally are like, he's talking to you, she'll be like, okay, what do you want? And his sweet voice will be like, mommy, I just want such and such, or I'm hungry, or can I, anything. He is the sweetest baby. And if he does something wrong, he says sorry before she can even yell at him good. So the idea that you brought this man around this 5-year-old is already like, what are we doing? But as soon as this happens, she says, she comes to TikTok and says, this is what happened. I need to get out of Dodge. And that is the phrase she uses over and over and over again. I need to get out of Dodge. And in order to get out of Dodge, the first request was that she needed new tires and an oil change. Well, she was able to collect the money for the oil change, but not the tire. And then she said, forget the tire, I need a new phone. And she was sitting outside of Walmart because she needed $100 and whatever, $87 for a new phone. It was on sale because her phone screen was so messed up, and she was afraid that when they left, that the phone would conk out and then she wouldn't have GPS. And I told y'all, baby girl, what do you think we did before GPS existed? Forget about it being on our phone. Remember when it was a little box you had to put on the counter on the dash in your car? Forget, we used maps. And then when MapQuest came along, we were like, look at this technology. You can go to the library and for free be able to print out the directions to where you're going. Now, again, y'all know I pay very close attention. So she said that she was told to leave the state. And she was going to leave the state, not just another county, not across the state, leave the state. And so that's why she was going somewhere unfamiliar, and that's why she needed the phone. Well, let me tell you why she might have dropped needing the phone. Because in her effort to prove that these things happened, she posted this. This was his charges. And the highlighted part, or the part in the circle, is showing a damaged phone. And I wondered, if her phone was so damaged, how could she read the comments? Is this the break that you were talking about? Because people live with phones worse than this every day. So now we switched from the phone to needing the tire. And gas money. So she wanted $80 for a new tire and the gas money so she could get out of Dodge. Now, I also told you the other day, people were like, why don't you change the profile photo? Which is changed now. But why don't you change the profile photo? And her initial answer was, I need it for evidence. But just a few minutes ago, you said you were getting rid of the phone when you got the new one. So again, which one is it? But then later said that she had already given the DA all the evidence. So again, which one is it? You need to keep it for the evidence, or you've already given them the evidence. But see, when you're talking fast, just trying to give an answer that satisfies that particular question, you forget what you just said a minute ago. But I don't, because I take notes. And I also said to y'all on Wednesday that you don't need a phone to keep anything that's on TikTok, because TikTok is TikTok. It's not attached to your phone. The data you put, once it's on TikTok, it's on TikTok. And so yesterday, when people questioned why do you still have that picture up, she said, y'all are worried about the wrong thing. Like, that's not a priority. And I agree with you. But was getting your nails and eyelashes done a priority? While you're running for your life because you're afraid because he's getting out, you're getting your nails and eyelashes done was a priority? And of course, she wants to say, well, it was free. Free has nothing to do with priorities. Of course, Princess. You said that changing the profile photo, which takes less than a minute, isn't a priority. But you got your eyelashes and nails done within days of the assault. And your justification is because it was free? That's the last thing that would be on my mind. Especially if I'm trying to get out of Dodge, right? And so when she said it wasn't a priority, it was like, well, it's not a priority, but how long does it take to fix it? So of course now it's fixed. He's not, but I believe the videos of them together are still there. I don't know if she's actually pregnant. She showed, she said she was going to the doctor, but I'll tell you why I'm more likely to believe it and not in a second. So my question is, You met this man, you brought him into your home around your child because she started to complain about his charges, his former charges. And she was like, I can't believe he got out. So the question is, before you brought this man in your house around your child, did you check his background? She says she didn't. Ladies, I don't care how old you are. You could be a granny and a great granny. When you meet a new man, before he comes in your home, before you introduce him to your family, doing a background check is standard. It used to seem invasive. It's not. It is about safety. So I don't care if you're 80. If you're meeting a new man and bringing him around, background check. And let me just show you how easy his background check was. Because it took me about 2 minutes. Let's see. This photo was taken in 2023. I have blocked out all of the irrelevant information because you know I don't dox. Sentence 1 was for assaulting, resisting, and obstructing a police officer. The maximum sentence was 15 years. If you notice, he was discharged on April 2025. Sentence 2, weapons in the possession of a felon. And this was just in Saginaw County. He could have other charges other places. The maximum sentence was 99 years. The minimum sentence was 5 years. But again, and this happened in 2013, it was adjudicated and discharged in 2025. As you can see, he was sentenced in 2017. Controlled substance, possession of narcotics, Coca-Cola, under 25 grams. Happened in 2017. 2 years and 6 months was the minimum. Weapons, felony firearms, maximum 2 years, minimum 2 years. Happened in 2013. Sentenced in 2013. Adjudicated in 2015. Or I should say discharged. Sentence 5. Wait, is that the same one? Nope. Sentence 5 is another weapons felony charge. Sentence 6, breaking and entering and built a building with intent. Maximum 10 years. Discharged in 2012. That is in one county. Thank you, Granny Annie. The man who married Cece, or I should say the man Cece married, that she didn't think, let me just do a background check before I bring this man around my child. She claims she didn't know. And again, this is one county. Oh, she knew he had been locked up, but she didn't bother to check to see what he was locked up for. And if I read her right, I shouldn't say, listen to her correctly, he has DV in his history too, but probably in a different county. Is this the man you want to call? And wait, let me be clear. I'm not saying that people cannot change. I'm not saying that at all. But I already felt like y'all moved too fast to begin with. And you didn't bother to check? So now you want money and sympathy because you made another horrific decision, one of many that we've been able to watch. How many babies have come and gone? that you got money for? You begged for your mama to get groceries. And let's not forget, she used and abused that young man, isolated him from his family, and then when she was ready to move on, she went to a shelter and left him high and dry. And in an issue with his family. Because she wanted to rule that house, even though it was in his name. And convinced him that his family was the problem. So he tried to estrange himself from his family for her. And remember all the promises, we're not breaking up, but I'm just going to a shelter because then I can get a place in my name and then nobody can tell me to get out and blah. And within what? A week, she was done with him? So now you get a place of your own. And remember, she went and lived with that woman. Remember? And they were supposed to be in a relationship. The moment she got keys to her own place, guess what happened? She was out. She moves into her new place. She gets a job. Her son is going to school. They're in a safety zone. And she meets a random man off the street. And now it has all blown up. Now, let me tell you a couple things about why moving out of Dodge doesn't make sense to me. She has Section 8. And yes, you can move Section 8 from one state to the other. I already showed that to you guys a while ago. It's called portability. But it's a process. You don't get to just pick a random state, move there, and be like, I have Section 8. That has to be dealt with prior to moving because the new state has to accept your Section 8. And what I think is crazy is that the state that gave you the Section 8 still has to pay, but the new state has to manage the payment. Very lucky, Joyce. So you can't just up and move and decide, well, I'm going to bring my Section 8 here. That's not how it works. Everything with the government takes time. Everything, including moving your Section 8. That's for A. For B, you had a whole job, but you're not going to work. Because you say that you need somebody to watch. You work overnight. And now you don't have anybody to watch your son. So you mean to tell me you were leaving your 5-year-old baby with a man you barely knew? And by the way, there are 3 people listed in the protective order. Who's the third person? And could she have watched your son while you went to work? Could you have gone to your job and told your job you needed to switch to days because your babysitting situation ended? But her son is still going to school, which thank God he is. Have you alerted the school to not allow this person to come pick up your child? I don't know. Maybe. I hope so. Because he is out. Somebody was in her comments talking about he's still in jail. No, he's not. He did get out, which I'm surprised he got out, considering his history. But they let him out. He posted bond. He had to come up with 10% of $75,000. Somebody used collateral, like a house or a car as collateral. I don't know. I don't know who did it, what they used as collateral, but that's what they did, and he got out. And if he flees, whatever collateral got put up will be seized and a warrant will be issued. Now he has court today. It could have been the Escalade he was driving. Mind you, Prior to marrying him, she now says that one day he asked her, has she ever hit a telephone pole? She said no, and then he skidded and hit a pole. And you married him after that? Oh, they're married, yeah. You married him after that? But see, when you're busy telling stories to try to make him look evil and you be the victim, you don't realize how stupid you sound. But again, what do they all do? They make these rash decisions, and when it falls through, they want us to fix it. TikTok is always the place they come back to when they need money. But they get to make one bad decision after the other, and we're supposed to just fix it. And oh, we feel bad. And I do feel bad. He didn't have the right to put his hands on her. But at 25 years old, with a child, you need to be smarter. And if you really are pregnant with twins, now you have a link to him for the rest of your life. And if you are pregnant by him and he goes to court and says she's pregnant with my children, and if she leaves the state, I won't have access to my children, guess what? You might not be able to leave. And then, of course, she wants to say anybody who disagrees with her or questions her, God is going to give you your karma. Are you living yours now? Because of the way you treated that man who you knew had a mental health condition? You took advantage of his love, his kindness, and alienated him from his family. Are you living your karma now? Because I love how we're supposed to have all this karma because we question her and what she has to say and her decision making. But you don't think you have to live by the same karma rules? This is a pattern. Yes, Joyce, this is a pattern of making rash decisions without thinking about the consequences. And then when the consequences befall her, they're sitting in her lap. She comes to TikTok and says, I need. Woe is me. Look at what happened to me. Again, he didn't have any right to put his hands on her. And I hope he does jail time for doing so, especially potentially damaging her son and his feelings of safety. But that doesn't make you our problem. So she wanted $60 for gas and $80 for her tire. And oh, by the way, she's hungry too. And of course, because it's true, people in the comments were like, having a protective order doesn't mean anything. It's just a piece of paper. You're right. Because somebody not violating a protective order is someone who cares about consequences. We know he's accustomed to being locked up. But let me ask you this. She's always sitting in the car. What if she was sitting right out of her side of her house? We don't know. What if she drove after she dropped her son off at school, she was just sitting there? We don't know. And the other day, when you got money for the phone, you didn't get the total amount, but you got money that day. What did you do with that money? Because you didn't buy the phone. Oh, I know, Gypsy Woman. I know. Oh, and then she also claimed that she found 2 Apple AirTags and gave them to police. As much as this girl shows everything, she didn't take a picture and post it? Diane, thank you. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. Because somebody even asked her, how's the dog? And she said, fine. That sounds like Maury. And that was a lie. when he used to do the, oh God, it's, why is everything escaping me? The, not the paternity test, but the lie detector test. He was like, and it found that that was a lie. So you just left the dog in the house. You and your son went into hiding? Like I said, how do we know she's not just sitting outside of her house? Right, Schindler? You mean to tell me, right, it's determined that it was a lie. Exactly. You mean to tell me he had 2 AirTags on your car? And you didn't take a picture and post it? Yep, Mrs. Evers. But she was advised to leave the state. No job. Don't know where you're going to put him in school. I don't even if you knew where you were exactly going. But I think she said that she had a DV shelter that already had a bed for her and him, and she was just waiting for money to get out of Dodge. It's not everywhere, but I know some DV shelters will actually pay for you to leave. Because they know sometimes people have to get out. How many times have we heard people say that they ended up somewhere because a DV shelter moved them from one place to the other? Mama Melissa, you need to talk to her about whether or not that's a relationship, if those listening devices are for her. That's not healthy. That's a toxic relationship, if that's for her. But does he have a job? Because then I can understand why he could pay for him. This one does a whole lot of nothing. But yes, Mama Melissa, that's toxic. That's not a good relationship. She's always been godly when it was necessary. You are 18 and over, you are an adult, and you are allowed to make decisions, good or bad. If you make illegal decisions and you get caught, you have to pay the consequences. You were allowed to physically do it, but if it was against the law, you pay consequences. You are allowed to make every bad decision you choose to. It does not absolve you of consequences. See, you got to understand something. Every decision has a consequence. There are good consequences and bad consequences. The decision you make determines which direction it goes in. It's like a fork in the road. Decision is at the top, and then where it lands is based on the decision you make. Again, you do not get to make bad decisions over and over and over again. Rash decisions that don't even make sense, that only focus on you and what you need and not the people around you. And then come to TikTok and say, oh, by the way, I made this horrible decision. I need you to fund me out of it again. Well, Mama Melissa, that's why he can afford the listening devices. We're talking about a man who didn't have a job. He stayed home all the time with her 5-year-old, and he had money for air tags, 2 of them specifically. Yeah, that's how she cries, by pouting that lip. And this tells you, and part of the reason why I'm harping on why didn't she take a picture of the air tags and post it, because when she was telling the pole story of him taking the Escalade and running into the pole, she said, I went by there today and took a photo. I'm sure for the prosecutors. But she ain't need no picture of the air tags to show us. Back to the notes. Then she started to talk about the man and what he exposed her 5-year-old to. You're talking trash about a man that you brought into your home and exposed your 5-year-old to. Now he's trash? Now you want to look back at his past convictions and be like, he's the worst man on the planet? You chose him, man. We didn't choose him for you. Nobody said, this is the man chosen for you. You must get pregnant by him with twins, and you must marry him and bring him around your 5-year-old. And again, based on what Aaron's on, is he on right now? He's going to be mad at me. We're going to go past 9:30, y'all. Again, you got with a man that wasn't taking care of the child he had already. And now if you have twins, you're going to have 2 more that aren't going to get taken care of. But we're jealous of you. Now, this is the thing. You know, I always say I pay very close attention. This is the thing that got me. So she keeps saying over and over and over again that as soon as she gets the money, she's getting out of Dodge. Mind you, again, he has a court date today. But then later on, when asked questions, she claims she didn't have food stamps. That's possible. She's working. They could have cut her off. Shout out to the big, beautiful bill. But she said she filed for that. Well, why did you file for food stamps in a state you're leaving, ma'am? So if you got the money yesterday, you was leaving, right? You're leaving tomorrow, right? If you get the money. So why file? And where did you have it sent to? Your address? But that wasn't even it. It's what she said next that floored me. She next said, I have an appointment with Wick next week. That's the earliest I can get the appointment. Which is it, Sierra? Are you getting out of Dodge as soon as you get the money? Or are you staying there and this is just a money grab? Because what you mean, you have an appointment with Wick next week? How are you making appointments for things a week out and you're planning on leaving? And did you get paid? from your job that you're not going to anymore? Or did you just get paid as that thing happened? So that would mean you would have food in the house, dog food, food for your son. I'm asking for a friend. I'm asking for the friends who give you money based on your lies. I'm asking for Hope, your moderator, who you have even said has done the most wonderful things for you and your son, and even told you to request $10 yesterday so that you could get something to eat. I'm asking for her because she's not paying close enough attention to realize what you're doing. But I do. Are you leaving? Or is this a money grab to get the things you want that you couldn't afford? Like a new phone, like a new tire, fill your gas tank, allow you to eat out. Your poor decision making is not our problem. So I'll leave that one there because I am sure she'll be on today with a similar story. And I wish someone would say, I thought you were leaving. So why do you have a WIC appointment next week? Huh? Now we're going to move on to Aaron. We're actually going to talk Aaron and awareness T. I think I put TA instead of AT, but it don't matter. That account don't exist no more, right? But let me start with this because he decided, this is based on the posts that he made recently. And I'm choosing to only address the things that I chose to address. Let's start with this because, of course, in one of his part 3, of course, he had to show my live, right? See, he had to show my live. But in so doing, he didn't realize that he exposed his spy. This is the spy that was watching my live that day that either screen recorded or took a photo. I don't know what. See, you think you're doing something and you're exposing other people. So as you can see, the great Juan, with his user number, is following anti-bullying movement, homeless lives matter too. And he is the one who was spying on my account for Aaron. Well, now he's blocked. But what's up, the great Wuhan or whatever you call yourself? Hi, how you doing? And dummy, you have pictures of your children on your page. I suggest you get out the spying business because you're not good at it. But see, Aaron Coyle is only about Aaron. So he thought he was hiding it, but he didn't. You talk about people don't know how to do research. Aaron, please don't welcome me to a good time. Please. But let's go on. So one of the things he did was he exposed the DM messages between him and Awareness T, or T Aware. I can't remember what it was called. I think it was Awareness T, but I think I put TA down. It's the same person. And I didn't take them all, but I took enough because, again, people for some reason think that their DMs will never see the light of day. And I want you to see the true desire of awareness tea. This whole, I just want to hold people accountable who are bullying. Yeah. These messages say something different. So let's go through. This in the blue is him, Aaron, and the white is her. And this is all on his page. Okay? So it says, I tried to do a live to call a truce and stop the nonsense last night. They all chickened out, so now I'm bringing to you. What was bringing it to her supposed to do? Because she was calling out a few people. And again, this awareness, what I call anti-scam, raising the consciousness, is not a monolith. You can't talk to two people and tell the rest of us what to do. There's no kings and queens here. We're all independent. And I'm going to talk about that independence in a minute. She said, I actually help those who have been bullied by awareness pages. Who did you help? Who did you help? All you did was make videos. But okay, let's move on. He says, if that's true, I need your help. So then she starts telling them the stuff we do. Again, I thought this was about bullying, but okay. Having compassion. She said they will report your pay accounts if they think you're having the money sent to someone else, then forward it to you. Yes, because that's potential money laundering. Hear me, I said potentially. And then she admits, I'm not familiar with your praise, but I'm willing to try to sort it out. Sort what out? If he's a scammer, he's a scammer. If he's a beggar, he's a beggar. What part of that can you sort out? But let me not get caught up on every word. Then she said, can you send me why your accounts were reported? And I think she says, like, what were the reasons? Oh, right. She said what they said was wrong with them. And then he said, if people only have CA and I have to permanently steer away from CA because I got hacked, but know someone who has it and can forward it, then it's acceptable. Maybe, maybe not. But see, what we all have to remember is that Mr. has Social Security and he's supposed to reporting each of these gifts. He's actually doing himself a disservice because the larger the gift in sum, the more important it is to report. If y'all remember in my presentation the other day, $20 or less that has nothing to do with food or shelter doesn't have to be counted. So when you have somebody that gets a whole bunch of gifts at once and little gifts at once and sends it to you $50, $100 at a clip, you've just done yourself a disservice. But let's move on. She said also any proof of any of the issues you have mentioned, like if you filed a police report. Also, I post nothing to the page until you have seen the preview and okayed it. What are you telling him to file a police report for? Awareness T? I agree with you. Who just said that? May. I agree with you. 110%. Then he says, trying to say fraud and I didn't get screenshots when it happened. Mine are fixed now thanks to knowing people in the app's customer service. How come Aaron, who don't have two pennies to rub together, always knows somebody? How come the people you know can't help you out? But you got to come to TikTok. Where are all these no people? You know, why don't your lawyers could have gave you $100 and something to travel? No? Okay, next. Then he says the apps, I just don't know their rules. I'm sorry, I don't use them. I don't know if that was literally back to back. Because like I said, I didn't take every screenshot and I don't know that he posted them all in order. Then he said, give me a few minutes, let me get the screenshots. And then she says, if you have any SS or recordings of stuff. Oh, he accused Awareness. Again, I don't know who, because he just puts the label on it, that they altered his live, the live, wait, let me say it right. He's saying that the people who are showing clips of his lives have altered them to make it look like he was saying something he wasn't. If somebody is doing that, please don't, because you end up detracting from the truth. But I haven't seen anybody that has ever done that. We literally just post what he said. How people choose to interpret it is up to them. But okay, so she says, if you have any SS or recordings of stuff that has been edited to make you look worse, send me that too. Awareness T. Are you being a private investigator? No, I didn't watch his live last night. Mr. went live and I was busy being a mod. So then he says, Kelly is spreading false info. So she says, so they report your live or have tried to report a live for bullying you. Reporting a live is bullying? Ladybug hasn't posted. Perfect. Thank you, Ladybug. She says, okay, how does Kelly know what you spend on? What so far that is the best SS you have? Again, I don't, does anybody know what SS was meant to stand for? Because I don't. Screenshots? Screenshots. I just told myself what it was. Then she says, and send me any DMs you have with those that you tried for a truce with, please, so I can figure out why they object. Again, you have an account where you're calling out specific people because you feel like they're bullies. When did you become a mediator? Okay. Then he says something. I can't even see it. And she says, they are legally allowed to live stream you and record you. My understanding, they cannot threaten you. Of course not. Threatening somebody is against the law. Who threatened him? Then she said, they can't report your live. They should not be contacting your work or relatives unless they suspect a crime or something like that. Tell me anybody of legitimacy within this community, under this tent, regardless of how they choose to do it, that threatens people, calls their job and family. Normally, family reaches out to us. But okay. She said they will talk crap. You're right. Although I talk truth. And then she says they do it all to all the ones they think are beggars. You're right. But we don't threaten. We don't call work. We don't call relatives. And in my case, I don't talk crap either. And most of the people I know don't either. And he says the problem is they are violating federal laws by cyber stalking. Watching you on TikTok and talking about it. Listen, stop the fighting in the comments or I'm going to turn them off. Because all of that back and forth is making people not pay attention. So shut it down. If you have a problem with somebody in here, go live and go deal with it over there. It's not going to happen in my comments. Period. Y'all know I don't play that here. Y'all busy running back and forth about what you don't like about each other as if that matters here in this moment. Everybody has their own platform. Turn your light on and deal with it. So he goes back to saying the problem is they're violating federal laws by cyber stalking. Now, again, anybody can do a little Google search and try to word it in a way, try to interpret it in a way that fits them. What I will say is ask Gabby how that worked out for her. But we're going to talk about the federal laws that he posted that he's saying people are violating. She says to him, you need to focus on what lies have been told and what proof you have, such as shelters being full, your real name being told. See, one of the things is that when you're sending people to your payment apps, if that's where your name is, you've doxed yourself. That's not on TikTok. That's not on the community. Just like I showed you the lady the other day whose live he was in. Her name is her account. That is not us doxing you. Doxing you is going and doing research, finding it and bringing it to the app. Two different things. If you post your CA and tell people to go there and gift to you, you have given people access to an account that has your real name on it. And as you could see, when it came to Cece's husband, even though she doxed his name on her page by posting his charges, I did not. Some of us take doxing seriously. So she says to him, I don't know federal law, but this issue is widespread on TikTok. Did you say to him people manipulating, lying, and begging on TikTok is a widespread issue on TikTok? That people being taken advantage of on this app every day is a wide issue on TikTok? And if anybody was there that night that I was in the live with her, that's one of the things I questioned. You want us to have compassion for the people that are taking advantage, but you're not asking for compassion for the people who have been taken advantage of. You can't just sit on one side. So then he says they're also harassing, and it's now classified under interstate trafficking, harassment by cyberstalking. And this is the part that floored me the most. Can you contact the FBI? Wouldn't they cover that? Awareness T. You are that mad that you think some people were bullying other people that you're suggesting that a beggar contact the FBI on us? See, this wasn't about bullying and having compassion. You were that mad at a group of people that you're suggesting somebody who is literally lying about his social security. Because remember, she didn't bother to do any information search about him and what he's doing. All she cared about was that he was crying that he was getting bullied, and she was now the bully champion. The FBI? Skittles, you can in a minute. You got to let me finish. Right. The FBI is busy. And then he says to her, I can send the screenshots of the federal laws. Know this. And then she said, do you have a free legal office you can call? And then he says something and said they have cyber teams on the situation. Cash Patel, can you please follow me and subscribe to me and tell everybody else at the FBI to follow me? Because I might be presenting cases to you. And by the way, let Social Security know that he's getting money that he's not reporting, and he's obligated to report it on a monthly basis. So he's breaking federal law, just in case you wanted to know. Then she says, I'm sorry, but talking about federal laws and such is way beyond what this page does. It isn't that I'm not sympathetic. I am. You told him to go to the FBI without knowing a single thing about him and what he was doing and what was actually done to him. You told him to go to the FBI. And then he said, I'm not the only one they have done this to, and all awareness pages are under investigation due to it. By who? Then she says, maybe you need to make a post looking for other people with the same issue. There are many in your shoes. So you was trying to create a posse? See, again, she never expected any of this to get out. But because he's so busy just trying to put out information that he has literally exposed her and her intentions. You was looking for a posse to get together? Maybe Daniel and Aaron should get together and then they can commiserate and complain together. Now, I posted this because if y'all remember, she did a post about Jupiter saying that we have private investigators and lawyers. But I don't remember her posting this part of the conversation where it says, I have never recorded. This is what Jupiter said to Aaron. Now, the first part of this said that awareness had PIs and lawyers, right? Which I don't, because I personally feel like I'm better than the FBI and the CIA put together. But who am I? But she didn't post this, where Jupiter said, I have never recorded you. I don't belong to any group. I am just an awareness on my own and do what I want. So you don't do this to me because I don't have anything on you other than replying to your little comment, which I even removed your voice and put my own comments in there so that you can cease and desist all you want with whoever you want. But I don't have any reason because I've never done any of that to you. And if you read your little rules, that doesn't apply to all states. And it's not even TikTok's guidelines, which their old guidelines mean nothing anymore because it's not TikTok anymore. I'm being very kind. Why didn't you make that post that clearly says they work on their own? No, you posted it like this is what all of awareness does. Why you leave that out? See, when you're only looking for things that confirm your echo chamber, you leave out the parts that are most important because you're not looking for the truth. You're looking for what's going to make your point. And that's incredibly dangerous. Because now you got people running around thinking that that's what awareness says, that that's what anti-scam says. And that's what raising the consciousness says? That I got private investigators and lawyers working for me? But you left out where they said that they were independent, that they didn't belong to any group. So why are you asking awareness who Jupiter is? They're an independent. But you put the label on everybody that that's what we say and do. See, you gotta love a person that likes to expose stuff because they end up exposing themselves and everybody around them. I'm glad the account is gone because if it's not, I can't imagine what people would have to say to that account now. So, let's see what's next. So, this is Aaron's version of not asking. Phone goes out of service tonight. There goes every opportunity for jobs and communication. Jeez. Really? Really? But we're not asking for money. Like I told him, if people know what you need, how much you need, and where to pay it, you've already pre-begged. All you got to do now is tell them what you need, and they know how to send it, where to send it, and how much to send. And then this was the other set of pictures that confused me. So this was a post saying, my only jacket is ruined. And initially, that's all I paid attention to. Because again, in my mind, is this another dry bag? Now I don't even have a coat. And he didn't stop at this one photo. As you can see, he posted 4 photos. And again, I'm a woman, and I'm a curious woman. So I don't just look at the obvious. Once I get past looking at the obvious, then I start to look at everything else. Does anybody notice what I might have noticed? Anything you notice about this picture, these pictures that would have piqued my interest? No, that's his coat. He's saying all of what was inside the coat came out. No. That's a dryer. Exactly, Kiki. That's a dryer in somebody's house. Where are you? Where are you? That you were able to wash and dry clothes in somebody's laundry room. Huh, Aaron? Where are you at? Oh, yeah, the shadow is my backdrop. I'm sorry for people who are new here. Where are you at? Whose house are you at? Right. That's not at a laundromat. See, again, when people just see the obvious, they miss the detail. Where you at, Aaron? Because you're at somebody's house. So you're not walking in the street. You needed a hotel room that night, Aaron? He's at a secret location given to him by the FBI. Right. Dee Dee determines that's a lie, Aaron. Aaron, whose house you at? Yes, somebody picked him up. A random stranger picked him up, let him come stay in the house, and wash his clothes. Be for real. Now, let's get to the laws that he posted. And again, these are from his page. I didn't bother to go anywhere else. So at the top it says social media threats and related criminal behavior fall under sections of Title 18 of the U.S. Code, and they primarily focus on interstate communications, threats against individuals, and material support for terrorism. That's where he keeps getting that this is terrorism. But okay, threats via social media. This is the primary statute for online threats. It makes it a federal crime to transmit an interstate or foreign commerce, which includes Facebook, Twitter, email, etc. And I guess we can say TikTok. Any communication, listen, Aaron, listen. Any communication containing a threat to kidnap or injure another person. Who threatened to kidnap or injure you, Aaron? Who? Who? And this covers extortionate threats, such as threatening to injure reputation or property via online platforms. Who threatened to injure your reputation? Are you talking about... No, I don't have the FOIA from Jeff, because I don't usually need FOIAs. I talk about what they say and post and do. Talking about your criminal history as a public record isn't threatening to injure your reputation. It's just stating a fact. But go ahead. Let's keep going. So the acts of terrorism. This statute covers threats or actions that involve a federal crime of terrorism defined as an act dangerous to human life that appears intended to intimidate, coerce a civilian population, or influence government policy. It explicitly covers threats, attempts, and conspiracies to commit these acts. I'm going to ask again, who's threatened your life to make it an act of terrorism? Now, material support or resources can include communication equipment or services, knowing they will be used to carry out terroristic acts. So what they're saying is that it doesn't just include sending money to a terrorist, but any material support like equipment. White Sox. Find somewhere to go, buddy, because we get into the good stuff. Support to a foreign terrorist organization. This makes it a crime to knowingly provide support, including social media propaganda, to a designated foreign terrorist organization. I don't think any of us are Al Qaeda, or now even Antifa. And that's a domestic terrorist organization that has been designated. Again, You may feel a way, but if you can't prove that way, we're not committing federal crimes. But I'm glad you seem to think so. If two or more people use social media to threaten or intimidate someone to prevent them from exercising their constitutional rights, they can be charged with this, which carries penalties up to life in prison if death results. Well, death hasn't resulted. And again, who has threatened or intimidated you to prevent you from exercising your constitutional rights? You can say whatever you want. I don't care. That's not my beef. You aren't my concern. I'm only telling people the truth, and they get to decide whether they're going to give you money or not. But as I told y'all, while he posted something that said that it's frowned upon to have your payment apps in your bio. But I like how you sideswept the fact that begging on TikTok is against their community guidelines. See, the same way that I can't say pew pew, the real word, the same way that people get taken down for showing a GFM because it's against community guidelines, it's the same way that you can't beg for money on TikTok and ask for the money to be sent to your payment app because that is against TikTok's community guidelines. We went over that on Wednesday. So now we're talking about cyber stalking and harassment. Now it specifically says slander is generally a civil issue, which means it doesn't go to criminal court. And you can accuse somebody of slander, but if you haven't faced any material financial loss, it doesn't proceed. If it constitutes severe harassment or threats, it can fall under 18 USC or other cyber harassment laws. Ask Gabby how that worked out for her. Because what you have to bear in mind is while you have rights, so do I. Let's just start with the First Amendment. I'm allowed to have an opinion about what happens in the world around me. Me watching you and then telling people, hey guys, listen to this. Does this make sense to you? Because it didn't make sense to me. Is not cyber stalking you. I'm not finding out where you are every minute. I'm not even watching every live you do. In fact, I watch certain lives of the people I want to cover at the time more closely than others. What I say is that if I want to watch you, I can. You blocking me won't stop that. That's not cyber stalking. And then it's the First Amendment protects free speech, but not true threats. When have I ever threatened you, Aaron? Now, what is a true threat? A true threat is a statement where the speaker means to communicate, a serious expression of an intent to commit an act of unlawful violence to a particular individual or group. See, he is taking pieces from each of these, adding them together and saying you're violating Code 18 USC. You can't do that, Aaron. And again, Who has truly threatened you? The fact that your money from TikTok might run out, that's not a threat. That's people's free will to give you money or not. And if it's a not, that's not a threat. That's just life. That's life telling you you need to get a job. That's life telling you that when you decide in the dead middle of winter that you're going to walk 1,200 miles and it doesn't work out, that's not a threat. That's you making a dumb decision. You moving up there was a dumb decision. You being homeless for 2 years has nothing to do with us. I have never called a side job and said, don't hire Aaron. And again, what person is hiring you to shovel snow or rake their leaves or cut down a tree or whatever, throw out garbage, and they're thinking, let me go on TikTok and check them out? Nobody. So, Aaron, take all your little spies. Because again, I love how we're cyber stalking him, but you're sending people to watch me. You don't want me to know your business? Stop talking about it and posting it on social media. Because once you do, it's available to everybody to comment. If there's something about us, something about you that you don't want us to know, don't post it and don't say it. And this is a warning to everybody in the community. Just because you may agree with the sentiment of an individual doesn't mean that you know everything about that individual and their intent. They may seem lofty. They may seem like they are doing the right thing. But what you don't know is what you don't know. So stop being so quick to jump onto bandwagons. Stop being so quick to just because somebody says they want to be a part of the community and they start streaming somebody or talking about somebody means that they're in it for the right reasons. How many have we seen come in with a bang and leave wimping? They suddenly don't want to be a part of the community anymore after they've amassed 3, 4, 500 followers. Ain't that something? That within a couple of months of you gaining all of this popularity and people are coming to your live every day, that suddenly you don't want to do it anymore. We have watched this happen over and over and over again. And yet the community jumps on it every single time. Because when you don't know what you don't know what you're signing up for. And once you get seen as attached to a bad person, that follows you. Stop allowing your reputation to be tanked by people you don't even know. You have an opinion about something, turn your light on and talk about it. Then you don't have to worry about what anybody else says or does. Stop hiding behind other people. Oh, well, I'm going to send you this screenshot and let you go out there and talk about it. And then I get to hide my hands. You got something to say? Say it. Say it with your whole chest on your own platform. Otherwise, be quiet. Be quiet. Because you don't know what you don't know. And with that, I'm going to do open mic. Because I know some people wanted to come up.
Hi,
Good
sweetheart.
morning.
Quick.
How are
I
you?
won't be long. I'm
That's
good. How are
okay.
you?
I'm good.
So, I find it funny that he uses the excuse of terroristic threats. I find that mainly funny. He, of all people, should know all about that. But I will tell you it is legal to pull a FOIA. I did not do it, but I was sent the information.
Oh, it is legal.
And he
100%.
does not like that. He does not like the fact that I know what he has done. He does not like the fact that I know why he went to Alaska in the first place. He does not like the fact that I have spoken with multiple people who all have the same thing to say about it. He needs to educate himself on the Copyright Act of 1976. I am doing nothing wrong by restreaming him. He puts it on the internet. Nobody has threatened him. He believes that Dre and I are the cause of all of this. And, you know, you shouldn't ask for money on the internet. But he did threaten me. He, with his whole
Right.
chest, threatened me. And, Aaron, I know that you're here and I know you're watching. You can't hide behind other people. You can't pick and choose what awareness creators you go to try to have your back. I've seen 3 so far that you've done it to, and it didn't end well any time.
Nope.
So all I have to say is the truth is going to come out. And I don't have to use AI to create my narrative. I don't. I don't need to. But just know, everybody, his threats are empty. He can't do a thing to you. He's upset because we're creating a narrative that he can't control. And he can't get money anymore because we don't let up.
No, we
And the
don't.
truth, no, and I'm not going to. He can call me whatever names he would like. He can slander me left, right, and forward and backward. I know my rights, and I've never once threatened him, but I do. In the coming days, everybody will understand why I say this. I do find it hilarious that he is using terroristic threats when you've been convicted and charged for 2 of them. One
Ooh,
to a woman and one to a child. But that's not my business. Thank you for doing everything you do, digital. I
thank
won't let
you.
up. I refuse to let up. He can try to find me. You're never going to find me. You don't scare me, not one bit.
At
And I
all.
appreciate, not at all. I am not shaking. It is not my job to get you mental health help. It is not my job. And for one more thing, I wish to God these people would stop using that poor girl's name in vain.
Yes.
They have no clue who Rizzy was.
Nope.
But yet they will latch on to that. And to the people who are here watching for Aaron, that support Aaron, in the coming days when things come out, you're going to wish that that wasn't your corner because he is vile. He is a vile human being. And I stand on that. Dee Dee, I love you. Chat, everybody, you've been great. I'm going to drop down because I actually have a job and I like my job.
Well, thank you for coming up and sharing, and we
Yes,
really
ma'am. And
look
I didn't say the F
forward.
word once. I'm
That's
proud of
good.
myself.
You should be.
Bye, babes. Have a good live.
You too. Enjoy your day and have a fantastic weekend.
I will, and I cannot wait for my cease and desist. I hope it's the same lawyers we used
Oh wait,
before.
yes, I have that. Wait a minute. What is this general cease and desist? That's not how cease and desist work. Where is it? Where did I put it? Did I not download it? Wait, hold, but I have the whole thing. Here it goes. This is TikTok's the entire TikTok cease and desist letter.
I can't wait. I hope he uses the same lawyer. I hope he does.
Sir.
I don't need the FBI. The FBI is not who we need. We need women who have no time, but
Correct.
ample time because I can do better research than anybody.
That's what they forget. They think we're dumb. Don't invite me to a good time, Aaron, because I will jump on it every time.
Oh, and he especially hates a woman. That's the
Yeah,
worst to him. But you know what? It makes me love it even more. I'm so excited. And also, if anybody has ever seen me threaten him, please send it to me. I'd love to know where I threatened him. Please. My inbox is open. You beautiful people have a beautiful day.
you too. And again, for the people who are here who aren't aware, there is a fake account made of me by some random person. Let me find it one more time. This is not me. If you have followed it, please unfollow it and report it as trying to be somebody else. It's still up there. It hasn't done a single video. But apparently the other day it was in J. Paul's live sharing it. We all know I wouldn't be doing that. And we also know that I'm blocked in J. Paul's lives. I am blocked in 90% of these scammers' lives. So if you suddenly start seeing me in there, yeah, yesterday in Jordan Paul's live, if you start seeing me in there doing weird stuff, saying rude things, making threats, doing all of the things that everybody knows I wouldn't do, doxing somebody, all of that, yeah, y'all know that's not me. And if you see them doing something, do me a favor and screenshot it. Screenshot the bad behavior and then send it to me. Because the problem is, most people are only going to look at the logo and see it says Digital Deceivers. That's it. They're not going to take 5 minutes to see that it's not me. Really, Jeannie? I'm sorry. And I think the reason why TikTok might be slow in taking it down is because it's not my face. So I don't know if TikTok will ever take it, but regardless, I want you guys in the community to know. Because I'm sure they're going to do something and people are going to make videos. Look at what Digital did. I have forewarned everyone. It's not me. Would anybody else like a box? Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay. So the Bree thing.
Mm-hmm.
They've apparently lived 3 or 4 different places since they last left TikTok.
Mm.
Apparently, it was a friend. Apparently, it was another friend. Apparently, it might have been a room for rent. But the last place was Brett's mom's house,
Really?
which
She
they got
let them
kicked.
live there? I'm surprised.
Yeah, I think it was very short term, and of course, they probably didn't follow the rules, which is why they're back in a hotel.
Mm. Very interesting.
Just like I see, she went from dry begging to straight begging.
Yep.
What did I say? Remember the other night when you and all 4 remember I said like she's been asked for $65, like roundabout. Well, now she just straight out, but she's not a beggar. She
Yeah,
doesn't beg for gifts.
of course not.
And I think I actually have the clip from yesterday morning with her begging, which I forgot to send to All for One because he was in my live yesterday, and I was like, "No, she's straight begging now," and he's like, "Well, she's singing," and I'm like, "Nah, she's straight begging. Trust me." Um. Okay. So, am I allowed to talk about the Super Live?
Yeah, you can mention it. That's fine.
Okay. So we realized a couple of us over the weekend that our accounts get constantly bananaed for ridiculous things. Okay. And it's three people that keep doing it. It is the Hexen, it is Aaron, and it is Ray. So, we figure, the more people come together in one live, TikTok cannot banana a live between 1 and 3,000 people. So if we all come together and do a super live, and this works with these three because these three are the worst. So like the most, I don't want to say the worst, but they are the most violent that I think a lot of us have seen so far. And we've seen different situations. Like a couple days ago, I had pretty much all of Ray's chat. Ray's like everybody that followed Ray was in my live because I was streaming Ray, including Phil and Crystal. Crystal is his wife. Kitty came up and talked. He's dangerous. We know the Hexen's like I really thought, like from what I saw later on, that Ray was going to his wife because he was screaming, he was going after her. It was really bad. So again, between Aaron, him, Ray, and the Hexen, if we all get together in one live and go after, then maybe they'll just disappear. I really thought Ray was going to disappear. Everybody else thought Aaron was going to disappear. Neither of them did. So, there was discussions the other day though that we should do it like figure it out on Discord and not on here, so that they don't know when we're going to do it. So
Oh no, that page is gone.
it disappeared 3 days ago,
Yeah.
something like that. Because Karma was upset with like some of the situation. But yeah, so I don't know. I'll probably do like one more live on TikTok, and then after that, probably go to Discord to figure just everything out. Oh, and I could have up to 200 mods.
What in
So
Discord?
no, apparently on TikTok.
200.
Yeah, I looked it up.
Oh wow.
I
Okay.
have like
That's
with the way
crazy.
my ADHD works, like um, I have to figure things out before I start talking about things because like yeah. So I did look it up, and apparently we could have up to 200 mods.
Lord, I'm sorry, mods. There's only six of y'all. I'm sorry. Maybe I need to add a
Really? You can only
hundred.
have 30? I don't know. When I looked it up, here, let me see, because I have my iPad right here.
Maybe for people who have like 1 million followers, that would make sense. But all
I
the rest
have no clue, but that was what I had looked up. Hold on, I'll look it up
Aaron
again.
is doing by going on. Yeah, that's true. That's all he's doing is going in lives and doing that. That's it.
Hey, oh, I can't say it. Hold on, I'm looking up how.
Good morning, Jay. Did you intend to come in?
I
Mods.
did. Can you hear me okay?
Absolutely.
And I just have something for everyone, and it'll only take a minute. Just let me know when you're ready?
No, go ahead. I'm good.
Okay, I hope you can hear this. Okay, hold on. And I hope this brightens everybody's day. Hold on.
Skidamarinka-dink-a-dink, skidamarinka-doo. I love you. Skidamarinka-dink-a-dink, skidamarinka-doo. I love you. I love you in the morning and in the afternoon. I love you in the evening and underneath the moon. Oh, skidamarinka-dink-a-dink, skidamarinka-doo. I love you.
Okay, I just wanted to tell you I love you and I love everyone in here. So I just hope you have a great day. That's all I wanted.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you.
You
You
have a
can drop me.
wonderful
I don't
day
know
and
how to do
weekend.
that. Thank you so
Okay.
much. And sorry if that was an old song for everyone. Thank
Oops. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hit it that quickly. Thank you, Amy, for 300 minutes. I appreciate it. As long as I
Okay.
get 5, you should hit 300 minutes quickly.
Okay. So, like, I've looked up a couple different things just because she was playing the song, which is cool. So it says up to 30 and sometimes 200. So then when you scroll down, it says limits. Creators can typically add up to 30 moderators for a live stream. TikTok shop is up to 200 moderators.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
But even 30, like, that's still enough for, like, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so basically, like, whoever wants to be in boxes, like, we're gonna have them all open with awareness people, mainly only because, like, if there's, over 1,000 people, that's gonna be a lot. Um, and then we'll see if we could rope those three in, and if this works, then we could maybe do it again to get rid of, like, other people, like Jordan Paul, Tim and Angela, Black Mamba, Cakes, like, they all need to go,
Yeah.
but those three are, like, seem to be, like, the most violent so far, like, a lot of us have come in contact with.
Okay. I'm also going to do a walkthrough on reporting to TikTok legal because I want the accounts banned. And so we're going to go with TikTok legal on this one because they are violating TikTok's rules against excessive financial enmeshment. Hey, Jeannie.
Hey, I just wanted to ask you how you're reporting this account because we have tried to report all of the fakes of me and Cass and everybody else, and it comes back no violations. Even the accounts that use my full government name and picture.
Yeah, I'm probably doing it the same way you're doing it. And
Yeah.
I'm going to try to go the TikTok legal route.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask if I
Yeah,
should
I'm going
try
to try to
that.
go that route and see what happens. I mean,
Also,
go ahead.
oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
This is not on the subject, but I was in Yaz's live last night and
Uh,
she was begging over and over and over for gifts and she
uh,
got a ban on gifting for like 10 minutes. So it seems like maybe the begging is gonna start, if they see you asking. But also the videos that I've recorded at the bottom, the AI summary says, like Jordan is begging for help with rent for a hotel room, and it put her actual Cash App on the AI summary. And they
really?
didn't, yes, and they did not, it was no violations when I reported it.
Well,
So, I mean,
yeah, I think that what I love, and that's why I really want us to start using TikTok Taco, which is TikTok's AI.
mhm.
Good morning,
Good
Mexican
morning,
lady.
homie.
Your live last night was fantastic.
Yes, it was.
Um, I really want to rope in TikTok legal because I think that the AI the AI tells us and should be telling them exactly what's going on, and when it violates, they should be violating it, but it's
Mm-hmm.
not happening. And so that's why I want to go the TikTok legal route. And then this is the thing. Then say that it's not a community violation, take that off, and we'll
Mm-hmm.
stop reporting it for that.
Right.
Period.
I know. It's crazy.
It is. But if you're going to say it's a community violation, then you need to deal with the community violation.
Exactly.
So we'll
Well,
figure it out because I got time.
yeah. Well, let me know if you figure out how to get your account down. I think I will go with TikTok legal
Yeah, I'm going to try
also.
TikTok legal because this is ridiculous. And I know what they plan on doing. They're going to try to make it look like I'm out here
Oh, yeah.
doing stuff that
They,
I would never do.
they've already done it to me and Cass. They go into lives and say, I'll give you 50, or I love your content. How much do you need? Kind of stuff. And then I get messages saying, were you in offering Jordan money
Right.
or whatever? It's like, no.
Right. I have three
Anyway,
accounts that
yes.
are related to digital, and I only have two that have the logo.
Yeah. That's good to know.
Yep.
Well, that's all I wanted to say. I'm going to
Okay.
drop, but you have a great day.
You too. Does anybody else want the box? Because it's 10:30. So I appreciate everybody who stayed over the extra hour. But I had to get some of that stuff out because this whole I'm so glad her account is gone. The awareness account is gone because now I understand your true intentions. I can't imagine what you were typing behind the scenes to other people. Here comes your co-host. What you want, White Sox? What's going on, buddy? What you need? He looking at me like, why you called me out? I appreciate you guys too. Believe me, without the entire community, this wouldn't work. I'd just be up here talking to myself. They said you're late, buddy. White Sox. What you doing? He doesn't want me to talk to him right now, guys. Sorry. Well, if that is the end, oh, I will post this weekend if I'm going live Monday morning. Monday is President's Day. It's a holiday. This is the weekend of love, and I am hoping that I am exhausted by Monday morning. White Sox, don't check me. I'm allowed to be exhausted on Monday morning. So, but I'll let you know. And I'll let you know if there's going to be a Sunday live as well. You said gross. I don't mean that kind of exhausted. I mean exhausted like we're going to do a bunch of stuff. Y'all are hilarious. But I love it because y'all know I do get spicy. So, with that, I'd like to leave everybody with this song. I don't know why I didn't write it down, and I can't remember the song name. Hold on. Echo, play About Damn Time by Lizzo. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you next week.